you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell out with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell out with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
We're back.
Oh, see, man,
What this layout is.
I got the wide view. I got stuff. Hey, yo, y'all forgive my background. You know,
I did
Christmas,
not mean to do this. Hold on.
Christmas and stuff. You know, it's what happens. You know,
That's
you know.
that's awful. Terrible right there. There we go. Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show that just don't give a damn. I am your host, Marlon Kleiber, with Theus Robinson and Tracy Carson. The second season of Saturday Night Vibes. Don't. What the hell is Theus doing?
Yeah, nothing. Just checking out the beard. You know, because you know there's only lining up a little bit. You know, just you know.
And let's go ahead and go to who's here, because Susan, we wasn't even on yet, and you was here. And the only reason I'm saying something to you, and then you turn around and go, "Well, I'll just talk to myself." We wasn't on yet. Wasn't even
That's
on.
how much they love your show. Hi, Susan.
Hey, Susan. Oh, Anna here. Hey, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Wait a minute. Oh wow, tears in my eyes every damn time. Welcome, Susan. Washington State checking in. All right. don't even know what that's about. Staying out of it.
Well, science has proven that if you have a problem with your eyes, don't look too closely at me because it only aggravates the condition. So just
Oh, I look all out of. Okay.
Happy another trip around the sun.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, pretty much what we gonna call 2022 anyway. Nothing changed, so.
she talking about Tracy's birthday that just happened.
Oh, by the way, yeah.
Yeah,
Happy
Tracy's
birthday, Tracy.
solar return.
Happy birthday,
48.
Tracy.
Never looked better.
You're still blurry, Tracy.
No, it's the light. It's the light, Mickey. I don't have my good light because it lost a screw and I don't know how to put it in. So I'm going to look paled out until I figure this out.
Maybe I need to turn my lights down. I'm all bright and stuff over here.
Okay, that's a little better.
Is it?
It was better than before. I looked all yellowy.
It don't look the same. I can't.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference.
Then it's different.
I really got to change my background. I clear every time I go on these shows, it look like I'm doing a Halloween special.
I thought I was going to say the Superman special number of Superman 2 where they was all coming out that world and they all did that close up with the black background. And Superman 2.
That was the good movie, right?
Well, all the Supermans with Christopher. 1
Yeah.
and 2. 1 and 2.
2 was the one where the 3 bad guys came, right?
Yeah, the 3 bad guys.
So that was the good one.
Yeah.
Well, Superman got his butt kicked.
Yeah, Richard Pryor can't save everything.
Oh, well, that was 3. We don't talk about Superman 3.
You said a little
Thank
better
you,
than her,
Anna.
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't look so yellowy. I was like, ugh.
Well,
Well, it's been such a long time since I've seen you two.
I know. It's like, seems like days.
Yeah.
in other words, it seems like hours.
Just as long as we don't, please, let's try not to go into Sunday because Marlon made me stay up late yesterday talking, and now I'm sleepy.
ain't nobody on this show believe that it was me. Nobody.
Yeah, I know.
You've
I'm
been in the
always
show
trying to
long
keep
enough,
it
you know
short.
daggone well it wasn't me.
We know the person in the middle always want to talk about politics on everything. I'm like, Scooby-Doo is not political.
Yeah, it is. It's all about weed culture.
You
It
can
ain't
never
time.
prove they were on weed or were taking weed. Or
See? Let's get this party started. To be honest with you, this is probably going to be a short show, only because I really didn't have that much stuff that went on. I'm going to do the anniversary of the insurrection tomorrow, so I held that off. Up to that point, it was only a few things that was interesting. Nothing. I try to at least put content out there that's viable or new or something like that. I don't want to be Fox News and CNN where I take a story and run with it for a whole week. That's a whole lot better. Whatever it is you just did, that's a whole lot better, Tracy.
yeah, I was like, wait a minute, let me turn this. Ooh, don't.
So what we're going to get into is, and apparently Theas didn't know anything about it, a big snowstorm showed up in Virginia. Nothing to do about that. We always have snowstorms like that. We always have situations where you have people stuck in snowstorms. The only reason I'm bringing this story up is because this is the first time, at least for me, that thousands of people were stuck on the highway well over 24 hours.
I want to show you this video. This is incredible. Drivers stranded on I-95 for hours. This is near Washington, D.C. A recent storm burying the area in about a foot of snow. It shut down 48 miles of road. This is all new chopper video just being taken before 6:30 this morning. Officials say some cars have been stranded there for more than 24 hours. And it gets to become a deadly situation when you're talking freezing weather and a lot of people running out of gas. So that is a bad scene there.
Yeah, I was just reading that the drivers are begging the governor in Virginia to declare a state of emergency so they can bring in the National Guard to help these people out of their car. At this point, most of them have run out of gas. I mean, can you imagine what a nightmare this is going to be? This is going to go on for days.
Yeah, it's really a bad scene. We'll continue to follow that. But again, that's new video just in the last half hour. Jamie.
That's scary as crap. That was the only reason why I would that's scary. Because it's one thing that you're stuck in this ice, you're on the highway. 24 hours? 24 hours. Your gas is not going to last 24 hours in your car. You ain't got enough snacks in your car, because you wouldn't think to have enough snacks in your car to last you a whole day. Freezing cold weather. Maybe you got your pet with you. The hell you going to do with them?
Eat it.
But how you gonna cook it? Ain't no fuck.
You
He would answer it.
He would.
That's pretty tough, man. Because I know here in Atlanta we had that, and the country laughed at us. And then you having it in Virginia. Is I-95 the same as Virginia? Because it's like I've seen the story here.
I have no idea.
Talking about an Uber driver got stuck on I-95 for 9 hours during the snowstorm, and they tried to bill the rider $600. So it's wild.
My thing about that's terrible. Well, what is not what happened, because what happened is terrible. But Fox News, somebody is, I don't believe in people losing their jobs. That's not, because it's hard to find jobs. But these yahoos talk about bring in the military bring in the military, yes, to bring people supplies, what have you, et cetera, et cetera. But it seemed like they were like gleeful about it. I'm like, oh, y'all teetering on.
Well, first of all, the Republicans just won the state of Virginia governorship. So do we get to blame the Republicans for it? And then also, it's really amazing when the party of small politics, small government, is calling for the military to come in and do anything. That's like the opposite of small government.
That sounds a little bit like socialism.
Yeah. I was listening to a guy today, one of those talking heads, and he's like, whenever you want to realize whatever the Republicans are actually doing, listen to what they're saying about the other guy, because it's all projection. It's always projection. Whatever they're saying about the Democrats is exactly what they're doing. So they're always talking about the Democrats overreaching, wanting to control everything in your life and all that. No, that's Republicans.
No, that's y'all, bro. That's y'all. Not y'all, but them.
Again, they know who we're talking about. 2022 has changed my perspective. I'm no longer going to go, y'all, well, not y'all, but the y'all. And then ones that they know who I'm not talking about are not offended.
Sort amongst yourselves.
Yeah, work it out amongst yourself. So anyway, I just got this short clip of one of the people that just so happened to, they had an interview with somebody who happened to be one of the people stuck in that traffic.
Continuing with the theme of stranded motorists, Fox 5 photojournalist Mike Rickard's been out and about safely this morning down in the Triangle area, was able to catch up with somebody who was stranded on 95. This is a portion of the interview that we just got from a motorist named Linwood Holman. Here is his story.
Well, been stuck down here in Fredericksburg since 11 o'clock yesterday morning. If you don't have to come out, please do not come out. I've been stranded out here since 11 o'clock yesterday.
So how did you get stranded? What's your story?
A lot of ice. It was a lot of ice, a lot of snow, and a lot of truck and trailers on 95 was stuck. Pretty much it was all blocked up all day yesterday, pretty much. So I'm gonna advise everybody, if you don't have to come out this morning, do not come out. I've been stranded since yesterday morning.
So tell me about just personally what happened to you. Did you get caught in that 95 traffic? Did you?
Oh yes, we
so
did.
Just tell me about getting caught in that traffic and sitting there all night.
Oh man, so 95. We got on 95. There's a lot of ice and snow. Got on 95. A lot of truck and trailers. A lot of cars were sliding in ditches, and pretty much they just shut down the whole highway because it was just terrible. It was just so terrible. The truck and trailers, everything was stuck. It was a lot of ice. Pretty much this morning, we are stuck on the interstate this morning. I don't know, you can see our truck is up the hill. There's a black ice up there. So if y'all don't have to go out here this morning, please don't. Because I'm out here this morning stranded.
Marlon, sometimes I just be wanting to fight you. I love you though. But you let that go way too long.
Yeah,
that man's probably 28 years old, sound like he's 72. And these reporters do the same thing every time. So tell me how miserable you are.
Yes, what happened?
Tell me how sad you are. Oh.
Well, okay, what else were they going to do? That's the question.
But how they get there? So it's like you can find a way to get there to interview me in my misery.
Yep.
So it's just a spectacle for you. There's no news that came out of that. No extra news than these people are stranded and we need to get them help.
Yeah, not that we're going to bring help to you in our news van that somehow got out here. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to just ask you stupid questions over and over and over again.
Yeah. What? The dude just explained the whole situation. And then you turn around and said, so you're still stuck out here. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh. Yes, and I'm like,
in the beginning, yeah.
Bless his heart. But, yeah, I went old church lady on that. I didn't mean to, but I'm like, bless his heart. That reporter.
That's right.
I'm like, stop asking him stupid questions. He's stuck in the snow. What is he going to say? Hey, everybody, come on out here.
Yeah, it's funny. You can't prepare for everything because that's the nature of, stuff happening. But I mean, you need to have an emergency kit in your car. You need to have a thermal blanket in your car. You need to have, maybe a couple bottles of water in your car. You need those things. But it's just terrible that's happening for anybody, especially what about the people who need their medication, who are stuck on the road? There's so many things that are going on with that, but it's the weather. And we're looking at dealing with the consequences of 40, 50 years of trying to play it to the edge. We want to see how much profit. Well, they want to see how much profit they can get out of everything. And so here we are. Storms are worse. They're happening at weird frequencies.
But how does that make you feel? I'm like, if you.
I was waiting on them to say, so have you had anything to eat?
Yeah, not that I brought some food to you. Not that I got through all this traffic and thought, gee, it's probably hungry people out here. Let me bring some food to them. Nope, don't think that. Just shove a mic in your face and just say, hey, are you stuck in the snow?
Is it cold outside?
I'm just like, you know what? This is why I've stopped watching the news. That is why I'm just like, you know what? I don't need it. I'll just go to Yahoo News and just get what I need. Because that right there.
And Marlon just let us sit here and rant.
Pretty much.
But you got to admit, Marlon, that was a dumb butt report. So you were stuck? That man just said 25 times he was stuck.
I don't know how many times I heard about tractor trailers. Yeah.
Here's the deal, though.
Mickey's right about that, though.
I agree with preparing for yourself. There is no way, and rightfully so. I'm not picking on anybody when I say this. Rightfully so. There is no way to prepare for being stuck in your car for over 24 hours.
Nope.
There is not, unless you literally take everything out of your truck and move a miniature house into it. There's no way. There's no way that you're going to prepare, because then you got to make sure you got enough gas in your truck to make sure that you can put it in your car. Because it's one of those things where you would never think to prepare yourself to be in a situation like that for that long.
No, I agree.
But
I mean, whatever your preparation is, it may not be enough. So yeah, like what Mickey was saying, where it's cold with water, but still, if I'm trapped in my car, eventually I might need something to drink. So yeah, the water may be frozen, but I can wrap that up in something or let it start this, and I can sip off of it. That's my whole point. I'm not saying you could ever prepare appropriately for something you can't even foresee happening. But you can take minimal steps to help. Like I got my to-go bags, right? If I had to bug out with my family because house caught on fire or there was an emergency, we can function for a little while, and I can grab that and move at a moment's notice.
But you know that's. Oh, I'm sorry.
But it doesn't mean I'm going to be properly prepared. You know what I'm saying? It's like you still know there's. It's just a tough situation.
Yeah, it amazes me that these people were stuck in their cars for 24 hours a day. But there are people who are living in their cars right now. Every single day, somebody is sleeping in their car. They're running out of gas. Because there's no room in shelters and there's not enough resources to go around. We're supposed, not this situation in Virginia, that was just a snafu. But you have people, like I said, living in their cars. Whether it's in California when we talked about the situation with the campuses. There's bridges literally in my city where people are sleeping under them every single day. And it's just, I just feel like we should be ashamed of ourselves. Not in terms of we're letting this happen. It's like, wait a minute. There's people living like this every day who need insulin, who need cancer treatment, who need MS treatment, et cetera, et cetera. Those people were stuck for 24 hours, which is terrible. But I'm thinking about the people who have to live like that every single day. They don't have.
Yeah, I agree. America, it won't be ashamed of itself because we're a capitalist nation. So if you're not succeeding, there's two things that's happening in America as far as our social structure works. One, you failed, and two, you're not blessed. Because those are the two things America has equated with having largesse. You know, so it's a sad state of affairs, but we don't see each other when we look at each other anymore. We just simply don't. And I say anymore. I don't know that we really ever did outside of our own walled off communities. But yeah, in America, it's like, look, if you're poor, it's because you didn't play the game well. Even though the number of poor is rapidly expanding.
But that's what you said is the truth. You are poor because you don't know how to play the game.
Nobody cares if you never got dealt in.
The lie has always been because you're lazy, you don't want to do that.
You're lazy,
blah, blah, blah,
you don't want to work.
No, the truth was you don't know how to play the game.
But that's what they'll say to you is that you don't know how to play the game. But then they don't want to believe in systemic issues, which would address why I never got dealt in. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, don't play the race card. Well, that's implying there's a deck. So I have a card, you have a deck. You can't equate one to the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
right.
You know, You should go get a job. Okay, to get a job, I have to have clothes, I have to have transportation,
A
and I have to have an
resume,
opportunity.
a
So
telephone.
yeah, so now especially the telephone or access to the internet or what have you. So now how am I supposed to do
Yeah, and our
that?
shelters are packed. I mean, we have shelters. I
Packed.
know we have shelters, and they're all packed. Every single shelter is packed
And when is the most time that it's packed?
in the winter,
In the
and
winter.
that's where I'll criticize the church. I go to church all the time. I'm like, you mean to tell me you can't open up your sanctuary and let people sleep on the
It
bench?
might get things dirty. See,
See, yeah, yeah.
that's not that's it,
Or steal something.
yeah.
Well, wait,
There's faith and then there's religion, and America sucks at both.
don't we though?
So,
Because I'm like, you can't let nobody homeless sleep in the. I mean,
yeah, absolutely, I'm with you.
yeah,
But yeah, it's if there's not a profit in it, then America doesn't want to invest in it,
nope.
and then we hear constantly from the conservative side of the aisle that the government shouldn't be in the business of charity because that's what charities are for. So let the church help people. But I'm like, the church ain't helping people now, not on the level that it would need to. And the church can't help
Can't
each other on that level.
on that level,
You know what
no.
I'm saying? Because tithes and offerings are a small percentage and inconsistent because it depends on the ability of the person who got the first part of the money to be able to even give any of the money. So they're always dealing with crumbs to feed a large number of people. Now, don't get me into, yeah, I'm not going to go into there because this ain't about religion per se. But the humanity put together social structures like governments to help use the law of large numbers to help its citizens. But we've gotten away from that. We don't believe that the government is supposed to be a loss leader anymore. We believe the government should run like a business. And that's
How you
stupid.
think Trump?
And that's why you get people stuck on the road for 24 hours because the government was never meant to be a business,
No,
in my opinion.
the government should always be your loss leader. This is my philosophy anyway. The
Absolutely.
government is supposed to spend money, invest in things that are not necessarily profitable so that the private market can focus on things that are profitable. So the government does your military, your fire, all of your emergency services, and all that good stuff because that stuff ain't meant to be profitable.
Healthcare.
That cracked me up about the post office. They're losing profit. Why the hell would
They
the
was
post
never meant
office
to
lose
make
profit?
money.
Why are you trying to make money off the post office?
Because the conservatives play smarter than the quote unquote liberals. The conservatives believe everything should be privatized because that way somebody can make wealth off of it. They say it's because of efficiency, but that's not what it is. It's really about making profit off of it. If the conservatives had their way, the U.S. Postal Service would completely fall apart and they could sell all that off to the FedExes and the UPSs and all of them. But the problem is the post office exists to be the low cost leader because there's no way in the world FedEx is going to take your Christmas card from California to New York for 30 cents. Ain't
50.
happening. Ain't gonna happen.
50 cents.
Yeah, but I get what he's saying, and it is a lower cost. If
It's
people are
lower because if
still-
you send a FedEx, that's like what, $13, $14.
Yeah. So the post office is, and plus the post office is not even a private entity, even though it's
Nope.
mentioned in the Constitution. But it's not even a private entity; it's a quasi thing. So what the left, if you want to pick apart the side, we just don't pay attention to the stuff that matters until it's a crisis. So
Yeah.
we didn't care about the Supreme Court till the Supreme Court started taking away people's rights. Didn't care about the post office until all of a sudden it started falling apart. Well, you know what? Post office falls apart. We got a big problem.
We
Because
sure
where
do.
a lot of our military veterans go to work when they get out of the military, post office. where you can have a real career for 20, 30 years, post office. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lose that, you lose a chunk of the middle class.
And the post office is the place where senior citizens, and I know everybody's got debit cards, but that was low key the place that senior citizens still get, some of them still get their checks in the mail. I don't know why, but they do.
People do. Homeless people, if they want to get their benefits, it comes through a PO box. You know what I'm saying? And then you have America has a huge unbanked problem where people just don't have banking accounts.
No.
Well, if I don't have a bank account, I can't get direct deposit. You know, and then if I do get one of these non-standard things, you got fees on it. So you're eating up the money I could get. All this stuff is all tied together and it's so plain as day. But because there's no profit in fixing it, the energy isn't put behind it. Because what does it profit anybody to make it easier for a person who doesn't have a bank account to get their Social Security check? Who cares if you're focused on profit? So it's just a sad thing.
Then you get stuck in the snow.
Ain't America great?
Nobody could stop you getting stuck in the snow because nobody could really foretell the way this thing happened.
Yeah,
right?
that's a one-off.
But the infrastructure should be there that within 24 hours, everything is moving again. Right? America can go to war within hours anywhere in the world. So being able to get the equipment in place by helicopter or whatever to begin to treat the roads so that the front edge of this stuff can start moving and you can start winching things out of ditches. And there's so many things that these engineers, they know how to do, but there's no will to make it
until
happen.
something happens. How did they get stuck on the road for 20? But because you were reactive instead of proactive.
Because there's no money in preparing.
Nope.
That's why we didn't have the right supplies for COVID, for example. There's no money in sitting on this stuff. The money is in preparing it and getting it. So we don't have no backup. Backup costs money because that's storage. Storage doesn't make you money. Storage just costs you money. It's so disheartening.
Again, ain't America great?
Greatest country in the world.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to stick to finishing this on Saturday.
Tracy made it go to politics.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. But
wait, whoa. Tracy, you ain't got the answer. Because I got... And then I got... So
I know Anna, like me and Marlon, not even here, but that's okay.
We know.
And
he done warmed up this morning, this afternoon too.
Yeah, he was all in the business this morning. I'm like, okay.
In my defense, I didn't talk as much earlier today because I had you guys y'all carry.
No. For everybody who wants to know, and like I said, thank goodness for Theus. Theus is one of the most intelligent people I know. I'll let Theus talk for as long as he wants to, or until Sunday. But I now understand why Theus does what he does, because when he hosts the show, he doesn't talk as much. So it isn't, I'm going to say it, it isn't because he's trying to be a good host. He's holding it all in for this show. And then he lets it all out.
Doesn't he do?
And like, one big, huge water hose. He just holds it in.
Now I have a bottomless well of wanting to say stuff and don't have nobody who will let me talk. Because at home, really, my middle child is the only one that'll sit there and have these discussions with me. My 12-year-old, she's 13 now. She's a teenager. She has these conversations with me, but nobody else in the house wants to hear this stuff. So,
that's not a kid thing. That's an everything thing. Trust me. And you don't want to, be honest with you. I'm actually glad to be around friends and family who don't come to me and ask me 50,000 political questions. I do 2 shows. I do research for these shows. When it's time for me to be off, I'm off. I don't want to do this every time I see. So what you think about so what you think about what body? Hey, can you pass the cake? I don't want to talk about this.
I'll let you know after my Jello.
Oh,
No, but
yeah,
really, yeah, I believe it or not, most of my focus is not political; it is social. Um, so that's where I would love to spend more or most of my time, because I just think that there's a lot that needs to be done just to be human and take care of each other. You know, just
yeah, there we go.
Well, we're going to move on to the next story, and what we're going to move on to is the teachers union in Chicago voting to shut down the schools. And in their defense, they did say temporarily because of the situation we're dealing with COVID. There is one part of what they did I disagree on. And not only do I disagree about it, it kind of just comes off as if it was a planned situation. So y'all sit back. This is a little long. I tried to cut it short, but every time I tried to cut a piece off, it was like, no, people need to know about that part. And people need to know about this part. So I'm going to play it. Um, Anybody need to go use the bathroom? Just turn the volume up on the computer. Go do what y'all got to do and listen and be right back.
And nurses to call out sick. And the same is actually happening with teachers and in our school systems. And today, hundreds of thousands of students in Chicago won't be returning to class. Chicago public school officials canceled classes after the teachers union voted late last night to temporarily transition to remote learning. The union says the move would be temporary until surging COVID-19 cases subside or Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot signs an approved agreement establishing conditions for return. NBC News Now correspondent Maura Barrett is in Chicago for us with the very latest. Maura, good morning. So let's talk more about this vote. The Chicago Teachers Union tweeted that 73% of its members voted in favor of this temporary transition to remote work. I mean, that's a lot of teachers, 73% of them. What have you heard from them? What's the mayor saying about this vote?
Well, the battle between the teachers union and the public school system here in Chicago throughout the entire pandemic has been extremely contentious. And so this isn't really any different, but teachers maintain that the safety measures that exist in Chicago public schools right now are just not enough. And as we look at vaccination rates, as kids are able to get vaccinated, only 24% of young students are actually vaccinated right now. And so while the school system is saying that they're upping their supply of N95 masks and they've donated or allocated millions of dollars to air filtration systems, teachers say they just simply don't feel safe working, which is why in person. And this is why they ended up voting on this measure late last night. But it's extremely angered the school district CEO and the mayor. I want you to hear a little bit from Mayor Lightfoot just last night.
I have to tell you, it feels like Groundhog Day, that we are here again at this hour, almost 8 p.m., after everything that we've gone through over the last 2 years with the CTU leadership. There is no basis in the data, the science, or common sense for us to shut an entire system down when we can surgically do this at a school level where needed.
So the mayor and the school district is proposing an option to shut down schools as needed on a school-by-school basis based on positivity rates in those individual schools. The mayor went on last night to say that this move, in terms of all the teachers saying that they're going to be working remote, canceling school for the day here across the entire district is harmful to students' learning and their health, and she called it an illegal work stoppage. Savannah.
Yeah, okay, Maura, so let's talk a little bit more about exactly what it means that, like you just mentioned, these students don't have class today. They were canceled late last night. First of all, I mean, some of these students get their meals at school. Parents, of course, thinking about balancing this now, who have other responsibilities or maybe are sick themselves, that type of thing. Let's just talk through some of what this exactly means, the rest of the fallout here for these kids.
Well, what was extremely baffling to me and my producer Kai last night when we were watching everything go down with the press conference and the vote, the vote didn't come through until around 11 p.m. last night, and that was going to determine whether or not kids could go to school this morning. So kids already in bed, parents not knowing whether or not they're going to have a school to send their kids to in terms of having class, or if they would need to figure out childcare. And so this has been contentious in terms of the parents' opinions too, because some parents don't feel safe sending their kids into school, while others think that school is the safest place, and that's the data that the public health commissioner is pushing as well. Our team spoke to some parents with opposing viewpoints, so I want you to listen to some of their opinions as well.
I am more concerned about the impact of not being in school, because we've seen what that does to children emotionally.
We felt okay about it until community spread continued to go higher and higher and higher. And right now, doing that risk and benefits analysis, we're keeping them home.
So as for that question around kids who get their meals at school, the CEO of the school district did mention that the school buildings are open today. Staff who wish to come in and work today can come in, administrative staff or teachers, and they will be providing meals for the students that need them this morning through lunchtime. So that is an option for parents, but classes and learning in general is canceled, both remote and in person. The CEO also noting that teachers who choose not to report today will also not be paid.
Also, it's just, you think about how many parents might not have even known until they woke up this morning at that time that it finally came down last night. They didn't even know their kids weren't going to have school until the day of.
All right, this is in my wheelhouse, so somebody else go first.
Well, let me go ahead and get out the way of. It don't even work anyway. Let me just get out the way what I felt was the bad part of the whole situation. And that was the fact that I didn't like the idea of you're waiting to 11 o'clock at night to vote that you're not going to have school the next day. That I honestly think was planned. So you wouldn't have to go all day listening to somebody do what they just did, a whole bunch of talking points and blah 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 and everything else. That I think was foul. What I wholeheartedly agree is the rest of it, because the funny thing about it is when you sit there and you try to be as cheap as you possibly can, giving any type of funding to a lot of these schools, unless you're private, but then want to turn around and put everybody in danger for the sake of the children. Because it's amazing how you always feel for the sake of the damn children when it's something other than funding. When it's funding, you got enough. When it's anything else, what about the children? You don't care about the children. You need the children to go to school because you need the parents to go back to work. Period. There's your funding. That's all this is. But teachers have decided, because a majority of the time you got a whole bunch of teachers who ain't fresh out of college. We got teachers who've been there for 20, 30 years. And I'm trying to find a nice way of saying it, but the better way of me saying it is
they're vulnerable.
They're very vulnerable. And you don't give a damn because it's touching your pockets. So if they die, that's what your logic is. They fall into the 1%. So what's the big deal? That 1% mother isn't coming home, or father isn't coming home. You're gross. You're just gross. That you could be so callous and cruel and just don't give a rat's ass about human beings because it's touching your pocket. I'm done.
Well, Tracy, you want to go on?
All I was gonna say is no, that mirror didn't. No, she didn't. First, I didn't understand her. I'm like, okay, I'm not a stupid person. Maybe she'll make a good argument for this. The argument that she made, like, you can miss me with all of that. Because what if a child gets COVID from one of their classmates? They take it back home to grandma and grandpa, watches them, and now that person is in a hospital because sure the child might recover because they're a child and they have a strong enough system to fight it. But grandpa and grandpa, they may have to go to the hospital for a couple of weeks. I didn't understand her logic. I was like, I don't understand what science has to do with it. Like I said, I don't understand her logic, her reasoning, anything. Yes, Anna, you are correct. But it's in some cases it's way not better because nobody should have it. But I just didn't follow her. And I don't follow the CDC doing the same thing that she's doing. Now they're recommending 5 days to be quarantined. Excuse me? It's the same. It's like they're saying, you know what? Like you said, Marlon, if you get it, oh well, it's your fault. It's your fault. You did it.
It is.
I mean, come on.
I'm so dumbfounded that the funny thing about it is I'm so dumbfounded by the people who actually gets to pick and choose whether your child goes to a school and live and die, don't even go to public schools, their children.
Nope.
It is just so amazing how it's so important for your child to go to school and your child is at home being tutored.
Yeah, because they're not going to send their children.
No.
Not Precious, Johnny, or Billy.
Absolutely not.
Nope. Yeah, I'm like, she sounded just like some Republican governor of some state where the rates are high. It's like, do you want people to get this, or are you trying to protect your citizenry? Which one is it? I was confused by the whole thing, and now I'm done. And the is you can go.
And by the way, Whitewood has been an idiot since she's been elected into office. So she actually done anything correct since being in office?
I mean, I don't know that. I guess it will really depend on your perspective. You know what I mean? So like, I was going to start somewhere else, but first I'm gonna hit on something Tracy was just pointing out about the 5-day quarantine thing. Now, this gets lost in the sauce, but I try to. The way I look at it is for 2 years, we've been in a pandemic, or as I call the plague. And the American public has been, nailed it, Anna. The American public has been ignoring or pushing back against everything the CDC has been saying since the beginning. And this part is happening beyond just the conservatives, even though they're the worst at it. But they're pushing against everything the CDC says. They question everything the CDC says. If people actually were listening to the CDC along the way, as they continue to change rules and guidance as new information comes in, because if you understand science, that's how it works, things would be under much more control. So after 2 years of being ignored, derided, and resisted, CDC is like, all right, cool. So I see that y'all ain't gonna follow medical advice anyway. So for those of you who are vaccinated, if you test positive, then you can do a 5-day quarantine because you are less likely to be carrying the same load. If you are not vaccinated, you need to stay in quarantine for the full 2 weeks. That's CDC guidelines. But what gets communicated is go from 12 down to 5. And people are only focusing on that part. Now, I am not foolish. I do understand, as I said, that this is also part of a practical standpoint. CDC probably would rather everybody stay out for 2 weeks, no matter what the situation is. But they also have to yield to the realities on the ground. And the reality on the ground is people like myself who are fully vaccinated and boosted, if I were to test positive, 5 days going about my business because I probably didn't even have any symptoms in the first place. And hopefully I'm not overly contagious. So that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what else did we really expect them to do? Really? Because they had to say something. If they didn't say anything, if they had just been quiet, then we would have been like, well, where's the CDC in all this? Omicron is going crazy. Everybody's getting COVID. Where's the CDC? Where's the CDC? No matter what they say, it wouldn't have been right. But that's another thing. Now we move to the schools, which actually piggybacks off of this. So like my children are still in, what is it? Is it called primary school? First through
6 is primary.
Elementary.
7 through 8 is middle, and then 9 through 12 is high school.
Okay, so I have a second grader and I have a 7th grader. And there's a serious shortage in teachers, folks.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why.
We lost teachers because of COVID in the beginning. We've also been losing teachers because it sucks to be a teacher. Okay? Little badass kids. So, and administration that is more interested in politics than actually raising and guiding children. So, and then you have parents who don't even want their kids to be taught. Parents who couldn't pass a high school history class who are deciding what you can teach in the school. Okay? So you have all of this happening all at the same time. If a teacher who is fully vaccinated like myself gets COVID and I have no what's the term?
Protective gear?
To have no symptoms, right?
You're asymptomatic.
Right?
Okay.
I'm asymptomatic. You're telling me, who's already working in the schools, already short-staffed, already thin as all gets out, stay out for 2 weeks. Now, cool. Now, who's going to come teach your kids? Who's going to keep your kids in control, right? And we don't have any substitutes. Ain't nobody trying to be a sub right now. So if the teacher gets sick, ain't nobody coming in that school. So they literally are in a position where they do not have the staff as we stand to take care of your kids. Then we have the thing like what Marlon was saying, well, they waited until late at night. I wasn't there. I ain't got no parts of it, but I can only imagine how bureaucracy and politics work in anything in the government. You had the union saying something and you had the government saying something and they fighting against each other. And that's just what it took. It took all night long because if it was a snow day, we don't find out until the morning.
Yep.
So whether we found out at 11 o'clock at night or we find out at 6 o'clock in the morning, snow day. Okay. So it's people are not being fair. They're just not. That's just my opinion. They're not being fair. They're not thinking things all the way through. They're only looking at it from the standpoint of, like Marlon said, how does this affect me? How I feel about this? Well, you know what? That's your little crumb snatcher. If you can't handle having your crumb snatcher at home, what makes you think I want them up in here? And then they're like, well, the kids aren't learning as well on remote learning. No, they're not.
They wasn't learning
They weren't learning before.
Yeah, I was gonna not say that, but I didn't wanna.
You know,
I could never understand people that sit there and say they're not learning as well as they do remotely, and I'm just thinking, it's a teacher, it's a book, and it's a lesson. Why do I have to see you face to face?
Because the problem is not talk to the teachers, not the administrators. Talk to the teachers. They know that they have 45 minutes to an hour to teach a class. In that period of time, they are not allowed to give homework. They can't give homework because every child doesn't have the same infrastructure once they leave the school.
Yep.
So now that means I have to give time for you to do what would be homework in class. So out of my hour, let's go ahead and take 20 minutes off of that. then I don't have the ability to send any children to the office or to the principal's office like it did when we were kids. They don't do that no more. The teacher is tasked with keeping that kid in the class, no matter how disruptive they are, short of really bad stuff. So take another 30 minutes out. You now have 10 minutes to introduce new material and teach a class. What learning do you really think is happening?
Yeah, you could not pay me to be a teacher. There's not enough
I'm
money
not-
you
I'm
have. There's not enough. To be a teacher, they should get paid. They should get paid at least $150,000. I literally have no problem with a teacher making $300,000 a year because of the responsibility. They're willing to take on a responsibility. I know I couldn't do it.
They're willing to take on a responsibility that
Because-
even the parents don't want to take on.
Because if one of them little bad kids got up in my face, oh, it's over. It's like, you know what? I quit. We can step outside. No,
But you know, the funny thing is, money isn't enough,
it's not.
but it helps.
It helps.
It makes no sense that being an educator is supposed to be a labor of love.
Good Lord, Anna. Jeez. This is what I
Exactly.
mean.
That's the
For
problem.
That's
love
the
of-
whole point.
You don't care.
It's not, because what's important is this. America, we've talked about this plenty of times, it's about profit, right? So how much profit can you derive from a parent being at work selling a bauble or gadget? You can make money off of that. You can look at your costs, you can look at your revenues, work those out, find out what your profit margin is. But with education, it's a different creature. Education is an investment. So you don't get to see any return whatsoever for how well you educate children. So we pay accordingly. We pay a preschool teacher just above minimum wage if they're lucky.
Yep.
We pay an actual teacher who has, at more often than not, they have a master's degree or better, and you're paying them $45,000 a year.
Like that's some money.
They could make 60, 70 outside, but they're supposed to do a labor of love and teach your little snot-nosed, bratty child at 45.
And think about this. There are so many teachers, because my sister's a teacher, that buy school supplies for their students out of their own pocket. Out of their own.
Yep. So
again,
that's why I said
America of the great.
This
America
is my
makes-
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right? The way I first got started doing things as far as community outreach was I had a program where we would gather money and we would go and pay off school lunch debt. And we did that for 2 years. Well, the third year is where I ran into problems and I had to stop doing it because the school system set up extra barriers to make it so I couldn't give them the money. There was no mechanism in place short of me starting a whole nonprofit,
501c3. Yeah,
right? Short of me creating a whole organization, there was no mechanism for me to give you the money.
And
So the kid wouldn't have brown paper bag lunch or won't have their report cards withheld or something of that nature because they had a library debt or a school lunch debt, right? This is by design. Last year, we did our first year of the school clinic support where we gathered money and we got underwear, t-shirts, wipes, and some other stuff and donated it to the school clinic. Why did we do that? Because I found out from my wife, who was subbing at the time, that, yeah, the school gets money for all these various things, but what happens when a kid has an accident on the playground or has an accident in the cafeteria? Nobody wants their child to have reused clothes. So what do? So if we didn't do that, the teachers would have to do that. The clinic worker has to do that. That's ridiculous.
That's the country we live in, unfortunately.
No, what's really ridiculous is
That's exactly.
That's ridiculous.
And they don't make enough to do that.
And did
They
we not
don't.
see the video? Or maybe I didn't show the. No, I'm pretty sure I didn't show the video because it was so damn disgusting. At the hockey game
They were
during
making them.
halftime,
Yeah,
when
they
they
threw the
had,
money in the. Yep.
yeah, they put money on. You didn't know about this, Theas?
Oh, you
At a
didn't want
hockey
to see
game
it.
during halftime, they put a tarp out in the center of the ice rink, and the owner, and it's a lower tier hockey team, and they put out thousands of dollars. I can't remember the amount, but it was in dollar bills, or at least singles and fives. Maybe.
Please don't tell me we had teachers rolling around on the ground.
We had,
we had
they had the teachers rolling around, had little satchels around their waist, and they
stuffing money.
Alarm goes off, and they're rolling on the ground, stuffing money in their pocket, and stuffing money down their shirt, and stuffing money in their little satchel and everything else.
Making them demean themselves for some dollars.
When the hell did y'all? I really want to go up to the person and go, when the hell did you thought this was a great idea? Because I know your thought process was, well, I know how bad it is in the school system, so I'm just giving the teachers an opportunity to make more money for the schools.
But first,
no, you glittering idiot. Why don't you help them not have to do this BS?
But the thing that made me mad about that, Marlon, was the crowd. Why are you cheering that? What's wrong with you? Like,
mob mentality is the lowest
serious?
level of intelligence.
You have to see. No, you don't want to see it because literally, I'm known for not cussing. It was a couple words came across my mouth. I'm like I'm like, no.
Because of Mickey, because this was what I talked about yesterday, and. Forgive me, I was a little tired, so I'm a little better right now. Thanks to Thea's show, I'm wide awake. I tried to take a nap, it didn't work. That right there is because of redlining. And remember when I was saying that, well, Mickey, you was here. So remember when I was saying redlining doesn't only affect the neighborhood when it comes to loans to certain homes. If you don't get a loan to improve your home and improve your neighborhood, that also looks at it is you're not bringing in enough income to this county.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, since you're not bringing enough money into this county, we're not going to fund your school. Now, should it be like that? No. But we're not going to fund your school, your local school in the neighborhood because it's so damn ratchet, because we purposely made sure it was going to be like that. So we're not going to fund your school because it's the equivalent of, well, we didn't get much from you, so we ain't going to give much back.
And it's also, who do we find value in?
Yeah,
I juxtapose it with the New York mayor. Is he the mayor? Yeah, the mayor, the black guy.
That's the mayor.
Eric Adams, yes.
Yeah, Eric Adams. When he made that statement about low wage, low skill workers not being competent and intelligent enough to sit in an office. That's the mentality of a huge portion of this country, some of which even think that of themselves. Okay, so more money is going to the private schools and charter schools because for 20 years, there have been diligent efforts to be able to shift that money away from the public school to follow the higher income people's children to the private school. Yes, they could afford to pay it themselves, but why do that when I can use some of my tax money that's being used to help a poor kid to just help my kid? And that's been happening for 20 years. And once again, the left was largely complacent. So now we're watching what happened with the post office we talked about earlier, where it was intentionally dug out from underneath to weaken it so it will fall in on itself. They're doing the same thing to the public school system because they really don't care if your kids get educated. They don't see much value in them anyway.
Right.
Same thing with when you look at emergency health. EMTs make like $12, $13 an hour.
Yep.
These are the people who are in your ambulances who are coming to get to you within 5 minutes of an emergency. And they're getting paid pennies because who are these people normally having to deal with? Uninsured, underinsured, or regular people. So it's where we find the value is where you will find the investment. And that is just the reality of this country. And because we as a whole don't disagree enough, here we go.
We're going to move on, but I have to we're going to move on because the hour is up, and we're going to take a small break so everybody can refresh. And I didn't know how important it was until Mickey said, "Damn it, are you going to take a break?" So yes, Mickey, we're going to take a break. But I do want to say one thing and make this perfectly clear. Susan Theus does a show like once every blue moon. So your bail probably is not going to ever go to freak off because that's how Theus is. And me and Tracy has been trying to get him to do more shows. But that's the reason why that bell will never ting-a-ling-a-ling, because Theus doesn't do shows but once every season. So
and literally we mean season.
And we do mean season. You're going to get your one show during the winter time. You're going to get your one show during the springtime. You're going to get your one show during the fall time. And you're going to get your one show in 2029. Because that's how Theus is. And yes, I'm talking crap about Theus because Theus is too damn intelligent to be doing shows every other president. It just doesn't make any sense for him to be doing this. For the love of God, you got people sitting here asking you to do shows. Do them.
Bring them back on. Mm-hmm.
So now that I got thoroughly beat up, I have to say part of my problem is I'm not intelligent enough to figure out how to go live.
StreamYard makes it easy. Come on.
But it's because I'm not on StreamYard, right? So I'm on
It's
Zoom.
free.
So what happens is
it is.
I do the thing like we did earlier today. Then I have to pull it down, do editing, push it back up. So that won't even show up until tomorrow.
Let's put it like
I have
this.
to get to like doing like this so it can just
I'll be
go to
married
YouTube
3
automatically.
times before Theus does another show.
I have literally, I can look it up right now. I guarantee you I have done 10 shows to one Theus show.
I guarantee it.
It's disgusting. Come on.
Yeah.
Because I had Zoom. I'm already paying.
Look.
I'm already paying for Zoom. I'm already paying for it.
That's
so
why we want you to
stop
use
paying
it.
for Zoom and start paying for StreamYard.
No, you don't. StreamYard
What's
is
up,
free.
D?
I don't want the duck. I don't want the duck.
Well, you're going to get the duck on mine because I'm not paying for StreamYard and Zoom. Nope.
See, that's my point. I ain't paying for both. But see, Zoom, you never know when you need Zoom. Because like a family wants to talk on a video call. I already have it.
That makes too much
Yeah,
sense.
Mickey, that makes too much sense. Ain't asked us nothing. Like, we don't never go live. Mm-mm.
That don't make too much sense.
Nope.
I have asked
Theus today literally said.
Kind of. That doesn't count.
Theus literally said, you don't know how hard it is to
do a podcast. I'm like, bro.
No.
Who the hell is
y'all took that out of
No,
context.
I know. He said it's hard to get that group together. It was a tremendous group too.
It was
so much fun. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take our break. I'll probably cuss Theus out before the show is over.
I will learn how to do the simulcast thingy.
No, you won't.
If y'all believe that, I'm going to march down the aisle 3 times before his next
But
podcast.
before we go to break, it's not really so in my defense. So just something to say.
In your defense.
What?
It's not going to be in my defense because it's going to come out and it's not going to sound as good out there as it does in here.
What is in your head? Yeah.
Marlon and Tracy have real intros. I do not. I don't know how to do that stuff. I don't know how to make it look
You play
good.
5 for $25 and they'll concoct the song for you. That's what I did 2 times.
This show put together probably cost me $50 a month.
Yep.
At the very most, honestly,
Yeah.
at the very most, it's $50 a month. And believe me, I'm the cheapest of this whole freaking group.
Oh no, you can't. You ain't got any.
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh
because
no,
You're spending 50.
I
and
can
I'm only
because
spending
these
20.
people never
I
get
think
to
I
got
win.
to see the new setup. And the new setup was exactly why I went back to the old setup. And I went back to this setup and I said, okay, I want to go back in. And the first thing that popped up was, okay, you owe us $270. Oh, that's yearly. No, I need to go to monthly. Oh, no, that's zero then because you already paid. Okay, let's go with that.
No, I'm with you. And like I said, and it was just when I was about to switch to the whole StreamYard thing that you started shopping for something better. And I'm like, oh, hell, now I got to wait.
Susan, if you...
Thank you, Susan. You're very
This-
sweet.
she don't know.
They just be beating on me.
We don't
They just
buy.
be beating
We
on
not
me.
sitting here
Yeah,
watching.
Grown man, he all right. He fine.
Mickey, no, you can get an intro for $20 Fiverr. I got 2 of them, so that means I paid $40.
So Tracy, offline, you're gonna have to explain that to me because I'm like, when I tried to get a logo.
Oh, you not gonna do it offline because I'm going to bed tonight.
No, not right now.
In the messenger group is what he talking
Oh,
about.
okay. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, but I mean, like when I try to get my logo done, for example, it's like you have to almost be a artist to tell the artist what you want.
I sent the guy who did my intros, I sent him 3 clips. I was like, look, I like black gospel. I don't like contemporary. I like Queen, Doobie Brothers, Hall & Oates. That was it.
We're going to take our break now.
No, that's like a horse.
No, Thea.
Nuh-uh.
We're going to take our break now.
Yep, and I'm going to go try to get this
Woman
light to
said
make it work because I keep
Queen
getting
and-
darker and darker.
Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates is
I
one of the
need-
greatest groups of
Tracy.
all time. I don't know what y'all talking about. They good. They great.
Oh, God, I love having power. Anyway, we're going to take our break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Y'all stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally, finally.
I'm all alone, sitting here by myself.
I'll be back in a second.
So, everybody, as we sit here and we wait for the remainder of the family to come together, I'm going to go ahead and take over the show for a second just to talk your ear off. So, one of the things I do have planned coming forward, wait for the release, is we're going to start looking at having a Patreon set up for Complex Mind. But I want to be very clear that it's not just, oh, they're back, but I'm still talking. So, it's not about putting money in my pocket. It's really about how do we help put action behind our words to try to help people. So that's where the basis of that is coming from. The little bit that I do hold will be so I can pay taxes, because apparently I have to pay taxes for anything that comes through Patreon and PayPal. But other than that, it's time to get to work and do some things. I'm really excited, and more to come. And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
I'm still adjusting my light.
You had like 3 whole minutes.
This thing is not going in the way I want it to, so I got to figure this
But
out.
it looks so violent, though. What is
It's like she's fighting something.
I'm trying to get it to stay up. I'm trying. See, why do y'all pick on me? Y'all pick on me for no reason.
Because you said you're going to plug in the light, and it's like you got pots and pans and...
Y'all pick on me for no reason.
Susan, he does do a show.
I have a podcast too.
Every 5 months.
Oh, by the way, did I not? I meant to say something that was a change. I just have to see if I have the energy to do it again. I think I'm going to start taking this show, doing this show. And making it into a podcast and releasing it again. This whole show literally, well, Saturday Night Bob did not start off as a podcast. Radical Truth to Power did start off as literally a podcast. And then I started doing YouTube. What is she doing that I can hear myself?
She's not plugged into something.
Oh, you are like a sister. You just... Anyway.
There I am. Yes.
So what I think I'm going to start doing is taking bits and clips of the show, which means editing, which takes time, which it depends on if I have, which means do I really want to go and do it? But I really want to start feeding this show. And that's not to say that I don't appreciate what I have, but yes, I want more. So the more times that I can get our voices out there on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, now I'm thinking and making it a podcast. So that's one of the things in the pipeline. The only reason I'm saying that is it may be a time where I go, okay, I can do this. I'm going to release it, bam. And then it may come a time where it's like, nah, I really just don't feel like editing the crap out of this. I just don't feel like it.
I'm not saying this is the best program, but I really enjoy it. It's called Animotica. Okay. And what you would do is, because you're recording this, I assume. So when you take the file over to Anchor and you hit the button, it's going to extract all the all the audio out of it anyway. So all you really have to do as far as editing is concerned is cut your video in half, right? So instead of it being 3 hours, it might be an hour, hour and a half, and just upload that as part 1, and then upload another one for part 2. And you're done in minutes. Like, that's the fastest part of anything that I do. Once I get my editing done, I can just hit the button and it moves it. The problem I have is the editing is slow because my computer, well, let's just say.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Mickey, I do appreciate that, but you do make a great point because.
Yeah, I used to have a podcast, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to hear my own. for some reason, it doesn't bother me seeing my own face, but to just hear my own voice, I'm like, no.
I think
Anna,
that I'm better.
Anna,
I think I'm better.
that's going to be really, really soon. I'm just trying to find a way to give more on Patreon, but it is coming.
Yeah, I think I do better on the audio than I do on video. Because
I don't even want to hear my own.
Because on
voice.
video, I have to have somebody with me. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, I'm really kind of boring by myself.
That would be Patreon, Anna. Patreon. But, yep.
We're not gonna say nothing about the person in the middle already having a Patreon. We're gonna just skip her.
Excuse me, but I plug your Patreon on the regular.
I know you do.
Just saying. I'm not saying nothing about your brother on the side, though. I ain't saying that.
You better not say nothing.
I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm not naming no names because that would be rude to do that to Marlon after all he does for us. So, just saying.
All I'm gonna say is iMovie is the greatest editor of all time. I'm so glad I got a Mac and not a PC. I will never go back to a PC.
Well,
I sure am. I don't know what happened, but I got converted. I'm like, well, I'm not going back. That's it.
The thing is, that was for you.
Oh,
I can answer that question.
I'm pretty sure you do now because
Yes.
PayPal, Patreon, not Zelle because those are just regular old transfers, I think. But anything else that's moving money. Now, personally, here's my view of things, and this is an unpopular view amongst everybody who is losing their minds about the $600 threshold for taxes. I don't care what the tax rate is at $600, there ain't that much money. So either you can focus on maximizing your revenue or you can focus on minimizing your taxes. But it's hard to do both. And I'm looking at it from where I stand and what I want to accomplish to help people and help myself and my family, because I'm not taking a vow of poverty here. But let me focus first on how do I get more reach and get more revenue and everything to make more of an impact. And I'll let the accountant figure out the tax piece. That's me. But a lot of people are very upset about the $600 thing. And I can respect that. Darn $600 again. But I can respect that. But it's like we create our own problems. So many people are moving money behind the scenes, but claiming to be a business without having to take on the responsibility of being a business.
Money and everything.
Right? So if you want to sit there and say you got a side business and this and the third, then you have to do business stuff. That means you need business insurance, you need a business account, you got to pay your taxes, you got to do those things. And if you're not doing it, how long did you really think before the government was going to be like, wait a minute, I'm not getting my protection money? So, I don't know.
Mickey, that video that I showed yesterday when the attorney said that his argument came from jail. That judge, dude, what the hell are you doing?
And the judge, the guy who wrote the brief for the attorney was a better attorney than the attorney who was standing in front of the judge.
Anna, thank you. I appreciate it, girl. Use your word first.
Just to let you know, Tracy.
You know what, Mickey? You lucky you not on the Progressive Queens no more, because I'm ready. I'm just like, hey, come on back, because I got something for you.
I just think if you don't take care of your kitty, ain't nobody else gonna take care of your kitty.
No, but she means a whole lot. She knows.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw this out here. Tracy is more holier than us.
No, don't put that on me.
Oh, I am, because there's a caveat to exactly what I'm finna say. Trust me.
And also consider who he's comparing you to now. Come on now.
Well, you got a point there. But please do not think that I forgot about you and your one night stand.
Yes.
Okay, so leave Mickey alone about her damn cat. And you talk about
I know the context of what she's talking about.
Yeah, you weren't talking about big lots.
So she uses a small little context that's just kind of humorous. You flat out just says it.
Well,
and somehow she's wronger than you.
I didn't say she was wrong. I just said when she appears on my podcast, I got something for her.
And it really does depend on the dimensions of your room, whether or not you can have one night stand, or maybe you need two.
Thank you, Susan. I will never go back to a PC. Never, ever, never gonna do it. Nope. That's not me.
You know what? If it's too big for you, it's too big for you. So we're going to move on to our show. To AD. You've been De'Aaron. That's De'Aaron. De'Aaron. And oh, by the way, welcome, brother.
Welcome.
You've been missing out, bro. Because
it
can get anywhere from political to social to downright raunchy. So you are about to be on a very lovely trip. And it's probably because of Theus.
We talk about faith and family and one night stands.
Yeah, she's talking about a specific episode of the Progressive Queens where she dropped it, and that water came straight out my mouth.
So you probably had a hard time with Tweety Bird. Because she always, I don't know, was Tweety a boy or a girl?
A boy.
It was a boy?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Tweety oftentimes talked about, the cat.
I'm just saying, Mickey, once you come back on, I got something for you.
I will let y'all know as soon as I set up my Patreon account. And like I said, believe me, I want to get to the point where I actually start paying these two people instead of, hey, can you come on tonight? Because I want to get to the point where, no, I'm never getting to that point. I'm going to go on to the show, but I just want to say this. I hope I never get to the point of contracts.
Why not?
Oh, shoot, you better get one. Well, you better get one.
It's up to you how you structure that contract.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be like the entity that we shall not name.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you got to have, hey, this is what you...
Because everybody needs to protect their image and their brand and all those things. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah.
Please do not say strokes around Tracy. Go on, Diaz.
I didn't even get that one.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about it's like a cardiac arrest or blocked aortic valve.
Sure you was. But go ahead.
Yeah, that one flew straight over my head. I'm like, huh?
But then I figured out what he was saying, and that was just
that
wasn't nice, sir.
It wasn't. It wasn't meant to be.
Oh, so you picking on me again? Okay, that's fine.
Pretty much, Trace. Stroke, cat, one night stand. We put
as we're having our good time walking all over the place. Hey, on Spotify, if you use Spotify, I am under Complex Mind /Simple Man, right? So it's like Complex Mind, Simple Man. But then also Social Reality Podcast. You'll see me there too. I gotta get my listens up, man. Look at that thing. And they be like, one of them I pulled. I want to say it's Complex Mind. I pulled and it said, how many unique listeners? And it said 1. And I'm like, that's me. But anyway.
You need to get your viewership up.
My listening. Listening.
You need to get your videos up.
Well, I got to do that too. But I'm talking about audio.
They already heard it.
Talking about audio. He's only
2 months ago.
I told you I'm going to take 3 trips down the aisle before Theus does his next podcast.
I did one today.
Okay. It's January.
Yep, because I had mine. I was like, hey, when you get on the Progressive Queens, you cannot cuss. Don't.
Thank you, Mickey. Now maybe she'll understand what I'm saying now.
But that's one reason I don't really talk about.
I still don't get this, but okay.
But that's one reason I don't really talk about my nonprofit very much, because until such time as I'm really able to launch it, that's going to be non-disclosure agreements galore. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
open your mouth all you want, because you're going to get kneecapped.
All right, guys, we're going to have to move on.
because we literally spent 30 minutes of actually not doing content. Well, it is the first Foxy's videos of the year, Foxy's videos of the week. So I have to put myself into understanding that there are people who are new to the channel. So Foxy's videos of the week is pretty much TikTok videos, but it's TikTok videos where we discuss what the content of the video is. Some are deep, some are just flat out funny. It depends on exactly what moves her at the time and what she sends me. So I put the videos together and I put the two, for me, I put the two more deep videos at the very beginning to just, get out of our system and everything, because it kind of rolls into our first hour. So I try to just go ahead and get that out. And usually the last 3 or 4 videos is funny, haha, and everything else. And it depends on it, what mood Theus is in to either A, keep it funny, or B, somehow turn it into freaking politics. It's a crapshoot. So we're going to start off with the first video. And the first video is, how can I describe this? 2020, 2021, 2022 has pretty much proven that, yeah, you're just not going to get away with what you want to do anymore.
Watch to the end. This sister just reached all the way back and challenged the ancestors to bring us the blueprint for 22.
I'm in Walmart, okay? I'm in the aisle with all of the body wash. So I'm trying to decide on which body wash I want. A lady with privilege, she has her buggy. She gets within 3 to 4 inches of my body and she's just staring at me. I can feel the pressure and I can see her in my peripheral. She's just waiting on me to move. She's not saying, excuse me. Move. No, ma'am. I'm not just gonna move. You're gonna be polite. You're gonna have some manners. You're gonna show some respect. You're gonna say, excuse me. If you say, excuse me, I'll gladly move out your way. So I continue to look at Dove and everything else, okay? What's going on around me? That's what you should have done first, or you could have just said, excuse me. But as she gets to the end of the aisle, right before she turns, she says, you dumb ninja. What? Now, y'all know she didn't say ninja. She said the word. I grabbed the Dove off the shelf, and then I was like, you know what? Not today, not in Walmart, not with me. So then I figured out which aisle she went to. I'm walking, and I'm looking. I'm walking, and I'm looking, and I see her. So I went up to her, and I said, Ungulo funga da shingo babakisi, unswa hiatashon. I made it up. I don't know what I said. Do you hear me? But this lady was shaking and she was looking at me. She was like, what did you say to me? What did you say to me? And so then I said, your back hurts, don't it? It hurts, doesn't it? And she starts screaming in Walmart, y'all. She starts screaming, and it's a dude that worked at Walmart. She starts saying to him, she just put voodoo on me. This black woman just put voodoo on me. Do something. She just put voodoo on me. I start laughing and I walk on off. Cause guess what? I'ma show you a ninja. You got the right one.
Voodoo in 22.
My whole favorite part of that whole thing is she put voodoo on me. She put voodoo on me. Do something. Ma'am, do what? Because obviously, this is Walmart. This whole thing is Walmart. I don't know a damn thing about voodoo. So whatever she don't put on you, good luck. Live the life that you deserve.
So One, let this be a cautionary tale of why you do not go to Walmart. I refuse to go to the Walmart. Second of all, I applaud this young lady.
Yep.
Because I don't think, no, yay, no. I know I do not possess the ability to have not yelled perhaps the most obscene string of things towards this lady. It's exactly what she wanted, right? Because she was able to say what she said to me where nobody else could hear it. And then you want me to react against you so that other people do hear it and you can play the victim. Well, you would have got your wish with me. Because I can't touch you. You know I can't touch you. I know I can't touch you. So instead, I probably would have said a few choice words.
And well deserved.
Yes and no, because the what do words even ultimately do? But it would still happen.
Makes me feel better. We said about this yesterday. When you do stuff, or was it today?
What's today?
Oh, it was the after show, actually.
Yeah.
It was the after show. When we do this whole forgive and forget and everything else, and I don't got to the point now where if you don't screw me over, aka you don't use that word on me, I'm not looking for a redemption for you. Any action that I do from that point on is specifically for me.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. I could care less about her, you know. But I also have a belief system that says I don't care if somebody is racist. But I also say that word is a violent word. Like, there are a lot of words you can say about somebody that are insulting, that are hurtful, that are whatever. But that word is actually a word of violence. So whatever you get for that, whether that's somebody put their hands on you, somebody puts a make-believe curse on you, or somebody get in your head and just play with you like that. Because that girl was smart. She got in your head and played with you. But I don't know how I would have really reacted. It would have went one of two ways. It would have been like, I can't believe this mofo that had the nerve to say something crazy like that. Or it would have been, oh yeah, well you blankety blank blank blank.
It would have been oh you. It would have been the oh you blankety blank blank blank. It would have been that. And the funny thing about it is, I'm smart enough not to get into your face and say it because I don't want you to see. He touched me. We have people who already know how to play the game of playing the victim. So I had to learn how to play the game of how to take away from being the victim. So I would have been cussing her out from the other aisle. So you could never even come back and say, oh, I need you to look at the film and realize that I was nowhere near her, but I am going to make sure that you hear me. You're going to hear me.
Folks. Stay out of Walmart.
Yeah, we had that too. But
stay out of Walmart. Nothing good happens in Walmart. Nothing good. Nothing.
Because Anna, there is something to be said about good old-fashioned racism. It's never going to die. Racism is the one thing in society, one thing in world society that truly hasn't changed in a long time. The methods have always been there. We may have now discovered it, but the methods is still there. People kill me when they want to use, no, we got technology and everything. Dude, technology has only made it faster. It doesn't mean it changed the method. The world is so violent. No, the world is not violent. It's always been violent. Technology has made it so you can see it as soon as it happens.
Yeah, and you can deliver it smoother or faster or more anonymously. But
and
yeah,
around the world.
yeah. But it's like this, man. Look, people say a lot of stuff when the other side ain't around to hear it, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay if you get around your family and use the N word all day long. Because if I don't know about it, I ain't got to deal with it. Now, the problem starts to roll into a different area when we start talking about you being in a position of power, like the judge in Louisiana who got busted out, probably by a family member for using the N word the way that she was using it, because you're in a position to actually act on your biases. That's where you have a problem. But just being racist, I don't care. Because it's like this. If anybody who's willing to say something bad about my back some say something bad about me behind my back, it just lets me know you scared to say it to my face.
And you realize that when she said the word, she was going around the corner. You coward.
Yeah, it's a coward.
But and so that's why I said I have no problem whatsoever cussing you out, because you are a coward. If you was actually bold enough, I trying to find a way of saying this. Please do not take it as offense. The reason why that dude walked up to a child who was walking with his mother and snatched that mask off is because she was a woman, and he figured it was the lesser human. That what is this woman going to do to me if I put my hands on this child?
No, I agree. But it's like there's things that I'll never encounter simply because I'm of a black man of the stature that I am. There's some things I'm just not going to run into. But at the same time, this is why I said I wasn't quite sure how I would respond, because one, that was a woman. So even though it's a disgusting woman, still a woman. So I have internal breaks inside of me that would just kind of make it hard for me to emote or something. But then also, I've always stuck on what happens next, because I ain't trying to sit here and get into an argument match with some crazy old racist lady just to now have to deal with her dumb Neanderthal son who was in the next aisle, and they always walking around with guns. I'm not trying to have a shootout in Walmart. You see what I'm saying? It's like I shouldn't have to think about it like that, but I do.
You have to think about it.
You know what I'm saying? I have to think about that.
Yeah.
And then usually if I'm out and about, I either have my kid with me or I'm by myself, right? But so let's say I'm not with my kid, because if I'm with my kid, I'm probably going to let a lot of stuff slide. But I don't have my kid. It's just me. I get into this back and forth. I automatically will lose no matter what the situation is. No matter what the situation is. So socially, I will lose. And then if it comes down to it, yes, I walk around hot and I walk around sharp. So now are we going to elevate to that level? Are we going to end up there? Now everybody's life is messed up. It's so much has to go into such a minor moment. All because I was in your way.
Go ahead, Tracy.
I really wanted to take the fifth on this one because I'm going to give the answer that pretty much y'all don't expect me to give. I'm walking away. One, because I know what my temper is. I know my temper. And I know that word triggers my temper when I hear a white person say it.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. And they know that. That's why they do this.
That's why I said that's why I'm turning around.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to let a person like that live inside of my head. I can't do it. There's no way I'm going to deal with somebody like that. I'm just turning away. That's what I do. I know that seems weak or whatever, but
no, it doesn't.
I can't let somebody...
You stronger than me and Thea's because...
Somebody like her take me to her level. I just can't. I'm like, you know what? No. I'm walking, and I'm like, Lord help her, because that's who she really needs.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one, because he's running kind of behind on addressing some things. But you think about it, minor inconsequential things, if you allow, and we shouldn't have to, okay? We should not have the greater duty on us to have to control our reaction to provocation. That should not be the case. But unfortunately,
we
it
live in America.
is, because we just watched 3 men get convicted for murdering a man behind something that normally would have been a minor moment.
Yep. How dare he be jogging and
then
exercising? How dare
and then
he?
we also saw not too long ago, it was a couple years at this point, but it made the news, where white guy was out there yelling and fussing and cussing at a black lady in the car, and then her boyfriend comes out the store and confronts the man, pushes the man away from the car because he's attacking his woman, and the white man shoots him in the chest and gets off and gets away with stand your ground. So minor moments, and it escalates tragically.
I get you.
Yep, it's like sometimes you just gotta walk away. It hurts.
But
it hurts.
At the same time, and I'm not trying to speak for you, Marlon, but sometimes you got to make somebody swallow their teeth, because how many times you just gonna let them say stuff like that? Because if you just keep letting it ride, then it becomes normalized, and now you got to deal with it every day like you used to in the 50s and the 60s. So it's like it's a weird thing.
Well, I can't fight no way, so I don't even know how. I've never been in a fight my entire life, so what am I gonna do? I'll be like, oh no, what?
I'm just gonna say this.
Find the biggest, heaviest thing that you can move and you swing it.
I'm just gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on to the next video. In 2 months, I'll be 5-0.
You gonna be a cop, man? Oh, we do need more of y'all, out there.
Hell. In 2 months, I will be 50 years old. Tracy, take your headphones off.
Oh boy, how am I gonna know when to put them back on?
I'll tell you. In 2 months, I'll be 50 years old. I ain't got to put up with shit anymore. I'm a grown-ass man a long time ago, but I am like a half a century. You want to roll? Let's roll. Period. Because I ain't got to put up with none of you. I'm married. I raised 5 kids. They all grown. I own my own house. I ain't got to put up with shit from you at all.
Oh, no, I feel you.
Am I safe?
Yes, you're safe now, Tracy.
No, but you're 100%, and I'm with you. I mean, I still got young people I'm trying to get up and out and through the house, but
welcome.
But it's like what you just said, Susan. That's what allies are for, but allies ain't always around.
They sure not.
And then there's always the matter of allies are situational. So there are some who will be there when it really, really matters, and will stay down till it's done. But then there's always self-preservation that comes into any reaction with human beings. So I can't walk around with my assigned white ally every time I go on to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? So
it's not possible.
I shouldn't have to. I should not have to have anybody else to come vouch for me. I'm a grown man. I'm an individual. I shouldn't have anybody have to come vouch for me. And the fact that the society exists that would even make that necessary. So now I'm going to place me at risk and my ally.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Nah, we're not.
And I keep telling y'all do not have to tell me to take my headphones on. I've heard profane language before. I'm not 3.
Not the one I was using.
I had no idea what you said. I'm like, okay,
exactly.
Let me watch.
But that's the thing, though.
I know why y'all do it, but I'm like, okay, come on.
You keep saying y'all. I don't tell you to take your headphones off. Now, what happens though is I try to not use certain terms and such around you, and then you get upset with me for being that. But you also helped us understand a little bit more about that earlier as well. So, yeah, I get it. I feel you.
People, when I tell you that after show conversation
was on point, wasn't it?
Woo!
We went there.
We should have. Excuse me. We should have recorded that one. That's
after party material right there.
We already had an hour and a half in the paint. Wasn't no need to keep recording,
bro. Because of that. I'm gonna say this. I don't want anybody to say anything. I just want to say this real quick because I may get to the point where me and Theus and everything else. I'm just gonna say, hey guys, this is the show. Blah blah blah. Good night. And then I'm probably gonna push the record button, and me and Theus and Tracy talk some more. These shows are phenomenal. Appreciate it. Love it. Those after shows, we be talking.
Well, not mine, because y'all are better than mine. I go for stupid topics. I'm like, what cereal did you enjoy when you were a child?
Those are good too, though.
I'm talking about with us, Tracy. We have some of the most in-depth conversations, but after Theus went, okay, that's the show, and we spent another 45 minutes?
About that, yeah.
Woo! And we're going back and forth, and we're going left and right, and we're going up and down. And all of it was riveting. All of it was good content. And the only thing we can say is, it ain't nobody else but us that's going to see this.
I know. That's why I was like,
that's cool. You know,
it is not.
It is. So, like, I had a thought project that I tried, and it failed spectacularly. But I had a thing where every Saturday I will open a phone line on Zoom for about an hour, just for Black men, right? And it was unrecorded, just open space. And we had a couple good sessions, but then interest just kind of faded out. But sometimes, the point I'm getting at, sometimes you just need to be able to get that stuff out, bounce it off of each other, feed off of each other's energy, have a good time, have a sober time, whatever it is, and it never have to show up again. Because when there's chemistry, there'll be chemistry again the next time you talk. So I don't know. I kind of feel you, like with the vibe was real good, but I think that vibe will always be there.
All right, we're going to move on to the next video. This is the last deep video that we're going to have. Again, unless Theus is in a certain mood.
No comprende, señor.
This is going to be deep, and it has plenty of layers. And I'm going to let Theus and Tracy speak first.
Like an onion?
Yeah, actually it is. It is really freaking. It's really freaking. It has different.
It was a Shrek. It was a Shrek reference.
I know it was Shrek, dude. I saw the movie.
I didn't, but show the video.
Oh, there's a shock.
Yeah, I told you I don't like movies that much.
Generation X.
You missed a good one.
To the generations that came before me, I want you to hear me out real quick. You see, I am 21 years old. I have been through 2 economic crashes, 1 housing crash, 1 worldwide pandemic. I have been given a job market of nothing, a healthcare system that does not provide for its people, an education system that is too expensive. My country has been to 10 wars. So how dare you call me a radical for wanting to fix the problems in which you created? How dare you call me a radical for wanting to preserve this beautiful earth, because for half a second you thought that I may not get to live my entire life on this planet. How dare you call me a radical for wanting all people to have a house, a job if they so want, healthcare. How dare you call me a radical for wanting to change the shitty world in which you gave us for the better?
I blame the public education system that he referenced.
Yep.
Because otherwise he wouldn't know what a radical is, and that's exactly why you're being called a radical, because you're trying to change the status quo.
Yep.
And the funny thing about it is, to me, is how dare you call me a radical? I love for you to call me a radical.
Exactly.
Because now you know where I stand. There is nobody on this panel at all, and probably in our audience too. But I can speak for all 3 of us if they allow me. We're radical. we're radical for a reason, because the nice way wasn't working.
Yeah,
you didn't want to listen to us when we was politely and kindly and docile way of explaining stuff to you. You say you was, you really wasn't.
Well, we are the nice version. It's like when you I that's one of the reasons I'm not really big on the term progressive, and I'm not really big on the term liberal, and because each of those are incremental. Radical and revolutionary are more urgent, right? But radical and revolutionary are also more messy. So I consider myself to live between the radical and the progressive world. And my word to those who find someone like myself to be threatening is there's something wrong with you, because see, I'm still talking to you. There's people behind me. There are people who are coming behind me. You don't want to have to deal with. And that's the same message that has always been there. There have always been those who tried to talk to the slaver about the conditions, about the people in the field. But they didn't want to listen to them. Then came Nat Turner. There are always those who didn't want to deal with Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. But Martin would tell them, you need to talk to me and Barrett Rustin, because Malcolm and Elijah, you don't want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
No.
While you have people who are willing to take their thoughts and their energy and their passion and put it to words, you better appreciate that. Like, I don't know if any of y'all are Tupac fans, but there's this one segment we was talking about. It's like, when you're starving or you're hungry, and they got food in the conference room, in the hotel, behind the door. You know there's food over there. They got extra food. They ain't even gonna eat all that food. I'm gonna knock on the door. Hey, we're hungry, right? Give me some food. Eventually, I'm gonna get hungrier. It's gonna become more urgent. I'm gonna start beating on the door. Hey, I'm hungry. Give me some food. How long do you think before I'm gonna bust that door wide open and I don't care who's on the other side, and I'm gonna take what I gotta come get? I'm the knocking people.
It pretty much reminded me of the video, and I know I keep bringing up the Target burning and everything. It just reminded me of this lady that was talking.
Now they see me?
No, that was George Floyd, not Target, where they burned down the building.
Okay.
It may, and that's so sad in this country. It may have been. Who the hell knows at this point? But this woman sat there and said that, I can't go verbatim what she said, but she got to the point where you talk about this building burning when we're talking about a country who practically signed a contract to the American people for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and you broke that contract multiple times. So do you really think I give a fuck about your property?
Not true. Well, that's like, as Malcolm had said, and I echo this sentiment. It's like when you hear black folk talking about our government and our country. Look, I live here because this is where I live. I am interested in its ability to exist, but I really don't care what happens. That's why January 6th didn't matter that much to me. I don't care what happens to this country if I'm not treated as a full citizen, if the police are able to kill my people with impunity, if you're setting my children up in third grade to be sent to prison before they finish high school. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care if you make America great again. I don't care if you make America the greatest country in the world. If I'm excluded, I don't care. Whole thing can burn down. That's how I feel.
And I found this out from Bo.
Exactly, Mickey.
Bo from the Fifth Column the other day. This is scary. I'm going to bring it up to tomorrow when we talk about. I'm sorry. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we weren't party to that contract.
Yeah. Bo from the Fifth Column on YouTube, very cool dude. He said there was military near the Capitol during the insurrection. So people were saying, where's the military? Where's the military? He said there was military there during the insurrection. Now, I have to use my words carefully because I am on YouTube. Let's just say that that military group that was near the Capitol was not there to quell the insurrection. And if I have to put a finer point on it, let's just say that if they was to release that group of military people, it would have been very loud for a few seconds and then very quiet.
Well, I said that at the time. At the time, I mean, you think about it. This is Washington, D.C. And you had the vice president and the speaker of the House. You had so many layers of succession in that building. And on the same day, there was pipe bomb threats, credible ones, at the DNC headquarters where the vice president was. All this, same day. If you seriously think that Congress does not have an elite force that is stationed in that building, you're fooling yourself. They were not released. They did not get the go order. That's all it was. Because if they had gotten a go order, like you said, it would have got real messy. If they had actually gotten close, like if they had gotten a call that said, we can't get Pence out, it would have been real messy.
Yeah, Bo is a cool dude. He really is. When you see Bo, he looks like what you would think the far right.
Well, he used to be an operator.
I think he was. He never said it, but
he did. He said that. Yeah, he said he was forward deployed. He was an operator. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm real cautious on how much I follow him. Like I like anybody who talks good sense, and he talks a good sense.
He does.
But there could always be the day where he stops talking good sense, and I need to be able to recognize when that happens. So, but no, he drops some really good points of view. Another one who does is Willie D from Ghetto Boys. If you ever see his YouTube videos, the title will make you be like, oh, come on, man, not another world star headline. But if you hit play, he always comes with an angle that you had no expectation for. So there's some good people out there.
There's some good people out there. And that's what and I'll say this, and then we're gonna move on to the next video. The funniest thing that I ever seen, if you look at enough TikTok videos, the Black community is totally pissed off, and rightfully so.
For what?
Pick a subject.
Okay, cool. I thought you were saying there's like a new thing that
no, it's not a new thing. This is like generational thing. It's the same stuff. Our white allies are nuts. Some of the stuff that I've seen them say is like, why are you seem like you're more mad about this than we are? And you don't have to actually deal with none of this. I'm so, and at some point, it's just it goes from bewildered to, oh, this is funny as crap.
Well, the thing I think is critically important to understand. Now, I have my own views on allyship, which I'm not going to go into here, but never forget, nothing in this country, nothing of importance and of real weight has ever been accomplished without your allies. Nothing.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
We're 13% of the population. It's easy to ignore us. Okay? What's hard to ignore is when your child stands up against you and says, no, you go after him, you got to come after me too, Dad. That's hard. There ain't enough of them out there doing it, but they're out there. And you got to admit that they're out there, or else you fool yourself. And,
Yeah,
and
they're
you
out
can't
there.
win by yourself.
That's why I literally stopped. That's why I literally stopped going. And I stopped Theas from doing it, even though I'm pretty sure it didn't work. Not everybody, but some of the. I'm not doing that this year. You know who the hell I'm talking about, and if you're confused, I may be talking about you. You shouldn't be confused.
Yeah.
You literally at this point in time should not be confused as where our beliefs are. So when we say Republicans, and you're not the Republican that we're talking about, so we're taking off the base of Trump Republicans, right? Everything else, blah blah blah. There's a whole new breed out there. So Republicans at its core base is like, I get it. I see where you're going. I got it. I don't agree with you, but I get what your thought beliefs is. If I talk crap about Republicans and everything else, and you said, well, not all Republicans, are you
Maybe
sure?
not, but I'm talking
It may
about
be
you.
you. It may be, it may be you if you're trying to defend yourself by saying not all Republicans.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. It's like, and I will touch a little bit into my views on allyship. If your capacity or willingness to be my ally is dependent upon my appreciation of you, are you really my ally? You need to be driven by what drives you, what you're passionate about. Are you passionate about humanity and justice and whatever it is, whatever the verbs or terms that fit you? That's what you should be committed to. And because you're committed to that, you're committed to what interests me. But if the ability to be my ally is dependent upon me patting you on the back, showing you appreciation at all times, then we're going to have a problem, because sometimes I'm going to be very distracted and I ain't got time to nurse nobody's feelings, because I'm dealing with a whole set of mess just like you are. And I think that's where a lot of times things get tricky.
And Anna said it a lot better. Let it fly, but don't apply.
Yeah.
If it don't apply to you, just shut up.
Well, yeah. In the context that you're saying, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm just here enjoying the discussion.
Go ahead, Tracy. You don't have anything?
No, because I lost what I was going to say. I'm like, no, well.
Yeah, it's hard to get in with two people who talk too much. Mainly this one, so I'm sorry.
One person.
Hey, you were right there with me.
Yeah, didn't he say, I'm going to let Tracy and Theas go first? Theas went.
Well, go ahead and say what you feel right now.
I literally forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, well, how do you feel right now, though? Not.
It teetered off like it always does. We started off on one thing and then we kind of went down. I'll say this on the TikTok video, though. I'm proud to be a radical. I don't see any shame in being radical. I'm like, Sunday school lesson, that Jesus was radical. So don't know what you out here wanting to believe. I'm going to be radical until every homeless person is housed. We get health care for all.
What the world?
Mm-mm-mm.
Well,
I'm gonna be radical until
that got
everybody
disturbing
gets
really quickly.
health care, everybody gets free education, free college, free health care, a living wage. I'm gonna be radical. I don't care. It's
I don't
fine.
think I've said that, Anna, because that statement seems way smarter than anything I would have formulated.
I don't know what those two words mean. I'm like, what does that word mean?
Yeah, because I'm still sitting here trying to get to that third letter going.
No, but I mean, so basically, I can't come off of my point to try to slide down to make you individually feel better. And yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but the way she said it was so much smarter than anything.
It was good. But I get what you're saying is, and we're agreeing with you, Anna.
We are.
We don't got to a point. We don't got to a point where we're just not willing to, and I'll say it. We're not willing to try to break down groups and individuals and everything like that.
Not all the time. Sometimes.
Yeah, not all the time. Sometimes you have to.
Because that's not my weight. I got too much work to do. You know,
I'm okay. Then I'll speak for myself. I'm not going to. Because the first thing I'm always going to say to every person that did you watch my show? Did you watch a lot of my show? All I heard you say, shut up. No. We're not even finna hold this conversation with you. I'm not finna sit here and hold a conversation off of. And America has moved into this in this direction, so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I am not finna hold a conversation with you on a 20-second news bite. If you are not willing to put context behind what I said, behind what Tracy said, behind what Thea said, but you actually think I'm finna hold a conversation because you saw 15 seconds of what I said last year, which I can say that now, what I said last year on video number 4. No, bruh. No, I'm not doing it.
But
Be mad. I don't care. I didn't know who the hell you was before you said something. I'm not going to know who the hell you is after this.
Yeah, I hope that, because I mean, there's a lot of content out there now with my words and y'all's words out there and stuff.
Oh my God, what is this conversation going?
I don't know, but all I see is, Susan, are you smoking tonight? That's all I can see.
But once I start moving and doing some of the things I really want to do, I'm not doing national press. It's not happening. Like I'll talk to individual markets like this and stuff like that, but I'm not talking to national press. CNN can invite me if they want to. If it's about my organization or something like that, I'm not coming because you're not interested in actually hearing from me. You just want something you can splice and dice and play around with. And no, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. Ditto to whatever y'all said.
Well, we're going to move on to the next video because we're moving into the danger zone.
Yep.
Let's just face it. It's probably gonna be Sunday.
No, because this next video only Tracy speak. Well, you two.
At least he knows. That's all I got to say.
I really wish you didn't say that before you saw the video, Theas, because the video is actually how we've been feeling for the longest time. So you may want to take that back before I actually play the video.
Oh, hey Tracy, what's that song? Dun, 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 dun. You know, for the longest time.
Oh, by Huey Lewis in the News.
Is that who did that? Oh,
okay. It's either that or John Mellencamp. One of the two.
I've been loving you for the longest time.
Yeah, so I can't remember, but I know. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's not an R&B joint. I know that.
No, it's an old school like Grease kind of joint.
I know who it is. I know the first name is Billy.
Billy
Billy
Joel. Billy Joel. It's
Billy
Billy
Joel.
Joel. Now I had to sit there and think about it. I'm like, oh, it's Billy Joel.
Oh, okay. Marlon made that comment, and the song is stuck in my. I don't know why.
No, and I'm not having a foggy night. I'm sleeping. Yep,
Anyway.
it's Billy Joel. We know now.
Yeah, I ain't know.
Anyway, this is pretty much 2022 me and Thea's. We'll try to get Tracy to this point, but me and Thea's has already said this is how we feel.
At this time, while we figure things out, we're asking that everyone wear a mask and stay 6 feet away from each other.
Boo, you trying to take my rights? This is communism. I hate it here.
We have a vaccine. The vaccine will slow the spread, and we can get this under control and go back to our lives.
You trying to put a chip in my arm and take my freedom and make me grow tentacles even though I'm not that important of a person. So what are we supposed to do? How do we get this under control?
You coming to me, folks. Just do what you want to do, bro. Take y'all asses back to work, die, I don't care.
I'm never going to get to that point. I'm never going to get to that point. It's not in me. It's not my nature. And didn't you say you want to stay away from our level because you need to be where you are? I thought I heard that quote, but, I just got receipts and stuff. I'm never going to get to that level. It's not in me. It's not my constitution. I'm always going to have compassion.
Nice knowing you. We cannot go 2 freaking damn years, and I still got compassion. I'm sorry. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. You do you, boo boo. Go out there and cough at everybody. I can't care no more. I
can't say that I'm Christian and just have no compassion. Now, do I want people to get vaccinated? Yes. Do I want people to wear a mask? Yes. Can I make people wear a mask? No. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to be like, oh, well, another one bites the dust. No, that's just not in me. It's not in me to do that.
Viz is being an a-hole by trying not to say anything. And I know it's killing him.
I know.
It is.
Yeah, but
look,
y'all
wait,
tell me.
Watch this.
Y'all don't want to say you need to stay where you are because you can't come up here where we're at.
So I'm gonna speak.
Gee, wow! I never
but
saw
not
that
on the
coming.
video. Not on the video. I'm gonna speak on what Tracy just said, and that is true, Tracy. And this actually is probably going to kind of rankle you a little bit because, and I don't mean for it to, but it's that patriarchy, that's that protectionism, old school type thing, where so long, because I remember not being so jaded, and so long as you still have that light, I want to do whatever I have to do to help protect you and keep in your light. Because for me, it's not a lack of compassion. I still feel for anyone who's ill or sick or whatever, but that's not my burden to bear. You made a conscious decision that you wanted to take these risks. And so now I'm more like the CDC. The CDC still wants you to live, still wants you to get vaccinated, still wants you to be safe, but you're not going to listen to me. So let's do what you're going to do.
Yeah, and that's just, I can't roll. It's like inside me, I know I can't roll like that.
And that's great. But I'm one of those people that I believe that people should have the right to make their own decisions. And then whatever decisions you make, I believe that it's my job and my right to hold you accountable. So You decided you didn't want to get vaccinated. I am going to support your decision not to get vaccinated because I believe that you're right. Now, because you made that decision, you need to take everything that comes with it.
I'm like I said, I don't want to pretend like I'm walking on water or any of those type of things. Anna, I do. And this is again because yes, they're taking up hospital beds. They could have gone to well people. But I still don't want to deny somebody health care. That's just not in my constitution. I know it makes no sense to anybody out there, but I can't look at myself, say I believe what I believe, and then just say, you know what, that's on you. In my opinion.
But Tracy, we've already covered in various capacities that that's not an easy or even possible standard to cleanly maintain. Because remember, we were talking about punishment for killers and things like that, where you are much more, you're less compassionate than me. Okay, so it's a difficult thing, right? Because it's a spectrum, it's a continuum, or what have you. So I feel you. But see, like my solution would be, all right, you got a hospital. You have your ICU. You have one wing or, one floor that is dedicated to unvaccinated people who come in because they need to be taken care of. People need to be taken care of. You have to protect people even from their own stupidity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but yes.
But that's a limited space. The rest of this, we're not going to sit here and change the pediatric wing to take in more COVID people. We're not going to change all the cardiac wing to take in more COVID people to the point that now we can't take care of cardiac and we can't take care of pediatric. No. This area over here has 50 beds. When they're full, I'm sorry, you got to wait. Because what we're not going to do is take this man over here who is dealing with a heart attack and have him get rejected by 14 hospitals and die en route because we couldn't find space in a cardiac unit.
I got to respond to Susan's one. If you can find the scripture, let me know. Just let me know because I don't think he really said that's on you. I really don't.
Well, it did say something about separating the wheat from the chaff.
Yes, let them tarry together.
Right? And
now that he did say.
And out of those who are, given much is required type of thing. I don't know if that's old or new, but the principles are pretty clear that we're all tied together and we're supposed to take responsibility for our actions, right? So if you're not going to live up to it, I know that doesn't give me an excuse not to, but there's levels to this thing, Jesus did not go around and multiply bread and fish for everybody. He did it one time to make a point.
Actually, he did it 3.
Okay, well, 3 times. To make a point. He ain't doing it every day. He ain't doing it every day.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely.
Right? He didn't go up to the pool where the lame man was and touch everybody.
That's true.
He told one man, pick up your stuff. So come on now. It ain't my job to sit there and fix everybody who refuses to do.
Well, I said this in your podcast. I have a guilty thing. I'm always trying to fix.
I do too. I'm a fixer.
Always been my default.
We always done put it to the point of saying, I don't want you to get sick. I don't. And trust me, I can find the most racist, bigoted, homophobic, everything, blah, blah, blah. My humanity just do not want something to happen to you.
Yeah, because it's terrible.
But
you chose it for yourself.
But if it does, this whole scenario is over with. So whatever it is that you done chose in your life to do, especially if you chose a life of bringing misery upon other people, that talk ill of the dead is a dying statement.
Your
I'm
callous
going to talk
disregard
about
does not
your
deserve
life.
my
If it
urgent
comes
empathy.
off sounding bad, too bad. This is your life that you lived when you was alive. If I'm talking about it and it sounds gross and disrespectful and everything else, your person was gross and disrespectful. I didn't make anything up, and I'm not going to make anything up. So I always sit there and roll my eyes when I sit there and see somebody go on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and everything else and talk crap about COVID and not take it seriously and everything else. And then the second that they get it, they want a GoFundMe page and please send out prayers and everything. I'm like, ain't you chose this? You chose this.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I get where y'all coming from. I just can't see myself getting there to that point. Wow, Mickey.
Well, we
really?
don't even know what kind of wine it was, because what if he made it into like white wine? No, nobody know.
Yeah, but
and I get what you're saying, Mickey, and that's what I'm saying is you have the right. I told my kids this since day one. Technically speaking, you have the right to do absolutely anything that you want to do.
That's true.
As humanly possible, you have the right to do it.
Yep.
As long as you can handle the consequences of your action.
Because there are
And if you can't handle it, don't do it.
Yep. And because you decided, like, okay, it's a weird example, but you have the right to walk up to a police officer and slap him hard as you can across his face.
Yep,
you got the right.
Yep.
Now, the consequences are gonna suck. Let me go ahead and tell you, they're gonna suck.
Yep.
Now, the fact that you decided to not consider the consequences, that's your problem. The fact that you did consider the consequences and still decided to follow through on it, also your problem. Not for me to get in the middle of what God is doing in your life.
Pretty much. You have the right to do whatever it is that you want to do in life, as long as you can handle the consequences. You can walk up to your parent right now and slap the living crap out of them. I don't see it coming out as well as you think it was going to happen, but you can do it.
You can rob a bank. You can do all kinds of things. The consequences are not concerned about your intentions or your desires.
Nope.
So,
and I said, and did we talk about this yesterday? Or was it today?
They all blend together, brother.
They all blending in. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, oh, well.
But we did talk about this today. Sorry ain't covering it.
But yeah, but anyway, like you said, I was just wanting to comment on the part about, dear sister Tracy. Because,
I don't have a habit on my head, so we can drop the dear sister.
You always gonna be our sister, so
no, dear sister, I'm not some nun somewhere.
Oh, I don't even think about it like that. I was saying dear sister as far as
after you talk about the one night stand. Trust me, we ain't never gonna look at you as a nun. Ever,
well, hey, Sister Mary Francis had a life before she picked up the habit.
That is true, she did.
Well, to that, that may have been the reason why she became a nun.
Perhaps.
Anyway.
Oh, how about the Pope sitting there talking about that people need to have more children?
No, he said if you don't have children, you're selfish. Well, if you don't sit your...
But see, check this out, though. Check this out. This is coming from a man
who doesn't have sex.
He ain't got no wife and ain't got no kids.
And never has took a vow of celibacy. Okay, that's cool. You took a vow of celibacy.
Because in the 50s and the 60s, the white population was at 69.
Yeah, and they're like 61 now.
And then now it's down to 61. Of course, they're going to say that.
Ooh, that's why the fight with that's where the fight with abortion and all that stuff comes from too. And that's why it's easier to immigrate here from Eastern Europe than it is from any of the South American or African countries. It's always been that way.
I stopped listening to all the folks years ago. I'm like, y'all can miss me with all that.
Pretty much.
Agreed. I don't disagree with what y'all saying. I'm just like, you know what, Mickey?
Oh wow.
You know, no. Put that comment back up. Put Mickey's comment back up because I'm gonna comment on this. Let me tell you something, Mickey. When you come back on the Progressive Queens, I got something for you. That's all I'm gonna say. And now we can proceed.
How you threatening folks?
I'm gonna threaten her. I'm gonna threaten her.
You kicked off.
I'm not violently threatening her, but I got one for you. I got one for you.
She's gonna give you a hug.
No, I won't. I don't like hugging people at all.
Oh no, Mickey, I definitely would not because he probably was a missionary at some point, and we know how they get down. Right now, this got the UN crisis about all these children that they keep because they go over there and they rape these women, or they have sex with these women, and then they abandon them. But we ain't talking about that though, right? The world don't want to talk about what the UN does, what the Catholic Church does, what these evangelical churches do with their so-called missionary trips. Yeah, but we don't want to talk about that. But as black folks know, they came with a Bible, they left with the land.
Pretty much.
Oh, I know where you live though.
Wow. Come on now.
Dang.
She really trying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Hey, guys,
no,
make sure that you follow.
I'm trying to say
make sure you follow Marlon on Facebook.
She knows I mean that in the most cheerful.
It ain't about her. It ain't about her.
But she know I know where she lives.
It's about the algorithm.
Girl, if that's love, I want to know what you do when you hate people.
We moving on, Tracy, for you to go to jail.
Tracy about to get everybody banned. See, look at that.
For real. All right. The next video, and the only reason I'm even actually thinking about this video, I'm just going to say about the Ahmaud Arbery case. For some reason, this video reminded me of that case. It really did.
Zach and Brandon. A defendant stupidly interrupting his lawyer's closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, over the past 4 days, you have seen state's prosecutor attempt to effectively bamboozle you with a series of hearsay arguments and loose speculative evidence, placing my client near the scene of the crime during the time of the murder. This evidence does nothing to indicate motive or means in the horrific murder of Roger Bell. Ultimately, it will be your decision to say, does this man deserve a lifetime in a federal penitentiary based on specious, inconclusive evidence? You are tasked to consider the evidence and whether it proves beyond a reasonable doubt whether my client is guilty. Is my client a perfect man? No.
I killed him, yeah.
Your Honor.
Yeah. Did I fuck up? What the fuck are you doing? Did I fuck up?
I was wondering when he was going to jump in. I was like, it's taking him a long time to interrupt.
I only got one thing to say. Desperate times call for what?
Desperate measures.
Who said that?
But you forget one thing, Tracy. And never, ever forget, for as long as you are on this show, they can see us now.
They can really see us. They seeing us. Girl, sit down.
I rebuke that.
Girl, sit all the way down.
Oh my God.
I'm going to quote from my favorite quote. Oh, let me go find it.
You know what would have been, I mean, because now that it's in the history books, could you just imagine if during the closing arguments on the murder trial, that then before sentencing, but when they did the conviction part, I could just imagine as the judge is like reading down the guilty charges, Roddy Bryant piping up all of a sudden, but he's the one that shot him.
Kind of hard for you to say that when you're crying the whole damn time.
Yeah, he was crying the whole time.
Yeah. Good gracious, dude. I will say grow a pair, but don't worry about it. You're gonna get a couple of pairs when you. Sorry.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
the point of the matter
is we don't do that on this show. Oh, it's your show.
It's your show.
It's your show. Say what you want to say.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I gotta put up with this every week.
And you love it.
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. So we're down to 2 more videos. Oh, please.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it is Sunday morning. I'm like,
It is. It absolutely is not. We got 30 minutes. 25 at the
decent time.
We got 25 at the. By the way, folks, for everybody who sits there and listening and going, Marlon is forcing these people to stay on there and they try to go to bed and everything else.
we do it.
You do understand as soon as we get off this show, I have tried the last show. I tried 5 times to go. Guys, it's rolling to 1 o'clock. Okay, but I got one more point to make. And the point is, and that's another $15, $20.
I don't think that's how that went.
My head hurt, dude. I got to go to bed. Okay. So we'll talk. So tomorrow we're gonna talk about Trump and everything. Yeah, because the last thing I remember Trump did, God dog it, why did I say that? Oh my God.
That's why y'all should come on Thursdays with Tracy. I try to keep it 30 minutes. I done told y'all 30 minutes. Oh, you
ain't never seen a 30-minute nothing.
When it's me by
with
myself.
us?
Oh, with y'all, no. By myself, yes. By myself, I can go 30. I'll be like, okay, I'm done.
That's like Marlon always want to pick on me, but Marlon would get on there and do an impromptu show and start it off with, I'm only going to be here for a short minute. And then it'd be an hour and a half long segment.
But Theus, you are the Sunday morning preacher that says, I ain't going to keep you here long. 2.5 hours later.
When you feel late.
You know it's going to be loud when Thea started to send us off with, well, let me just say this.
Yep, that's it. It's like,
that is
man.
that literally, for everybody else who
go.
don't understand that, that's the equivalent of every pastor who said, well, I'm not going to keep it long.
Well, as I draw this to a close.
Like, man,
dude,
when I say I'm done, this girl is done.
You ain't gonna
done.
Well.
All right, 2 more. Let's go. This video has such a Karen with a Q vibe to it. And I don't know this lady from Adam. She may be a perfectly good person. Somehow, though, it just seemed like she's tried this before and it didn't work out then and it's not working out now.
Shoot. I have a big raccoon that keeps coming to my door. Really? That's crazy. Well, we have a stray cat, so we leave food out for the cat. See, look, it's right there. Go!
Oh, shit, bro! Oh! Oh my god! There is a raccoon attacking me. There is a raccoon attacking me. Yes! Okay, that's very scary.
She closed that door fast.
Yeah, she was quick.
She was quick. I was like, uh-oh.
I'd have got. I think I would have got. So I gotta give her credit for that.
Karen agile.
Oh shit balls.
Yeah, I was gonna pass up on that point.
Who curses like that? What is that?
It took her by surprise. She didn't have time to actually formulate a good response.
She closed that door fast.
She knows that particular curse word because most people would have been like, "Oh shit!" No, she had to take. Okay, it's the
put it in a
excrement,
ball, yeah.
But it's when the excrement is like spherical, you know, and there's like multiples, so it's not like just excrement, you know. There's a bunch of them, and they're round.
She closed that door
Like
with the
shitballs.
quickness. I'm like, girl, give me your secrets to fitness, because apparently she ran. She was running. She was running for her life.
There's something wrong with these.
It looked like it was a little bitty raccoon too. It
And
probably
I
just
was like,
wanted a hug. It just wanted a hug.
And you
Emma,
see, you making too much sense.
I don't even know what to say about that because it's something about.
Don't stop making sense, Anna. Don't make sense.
Yeah,
Because she wasn't making.
No,
any
I don't like that statement.
No,
I have no issue.
No,
you
I'm being
taking care
sarcastic.
of
Like
strays.
Anna's making too much sense.
I don't have a problem with people taking care of stray animals.
I do
she
if they
had
live
a-
near me.
You know, because if you take in one stray animal, you're gonna get a whole bunch of other ones. Here they come.
There's a lady who lives. Well, she used to live. I think she's passed away now because now her crazy son is in the house. But she was our resident cat lady, and there'd just be like cats everywhere, always. But every once in a while, you would find a raccoon just sitting among the cats.
Yeah, because she feeding them.
At a certain point in time, the animals understand each other. It's
They see free food as like, okay, I gotta eat.
yes, pretty much yes. It's food. We ain't got to fight and everything else because this little lady's gonna put crap out anyway. So we ain't got to fight each other.
You can't
And
fight.
See, that's
I
mine
guarantee
right
you-
there. I would say my land all the time. I'd be like, my land.
And I
Oh, thank
guarantee
you, because I couldn't figure out what that meant. It's like my land. And
Yeah,
then when
that's
she
for
starts
us.
shooting.
That's us that don't really like profanity. We just substitute something
If you
else.
use a substitute, you just said the same thing anyway.
I don't feed them, Mickey, because I don't want 15 animals showing up at my door. Nope.
Nope, I don't feed wild animals. I don't feed strays.
I don't feed
And
no
also,
animals.
I'm
No
sorry for
dog.
those who are cat people for what I'm about to say. But look, you chose to have a cat. I didn't choose to have a cat.
No, they never
I
had
don't
one
want-
cat. They had 5, 6.
I don't care how
8.
many you had. I don't care how many you chose to have, how many litters they didn't have if they have litters. I'm just saying, you chose to have cats. Keep them in your house. Stop letting them out so they can come and try to live underneath my front porch or sit on the top of my car. I don't want your cat on my stuff.
Oh,
It's
I had
fine.
one follow me into my apartment. I was like, if you don't get your behind out my house.
Man, if a cat got in my house, my wife would probably make us move. She don't do it.
I don't want to get attached because I know what will happen. I'll get attached and then something happen and I'm depressed for weeks and weeks. No.
Yeah, I can agree with that because even though I'm not a cat person, I do like animals. I think animals are really cool. And one time I assumed this cat got in a fight with a raccoon, or maybe it just got in a fight with a bigger cat. But yeah, all I know is my wife starts screaming. I come outside on the front porch and there's a cat that's been ripped open on my front porch.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I had to clean that up.
The only bad thing that I ever had was the cat died under my car.
I had a cat leap into my car. I'm like, what the leap?
You got cats trying to break in your house and ride in your car.
They do. I'm like, y'all better get away from me.
Yeah, pretty much.
You love
But
your
you
pet,
got-
keep it as a pet.
No, I'm not gonna get attached. I won't do it. Nope.
I'd rather have snakes.
Thank you. Now that I would get. I get a pet snake in a minute.
No, I'm
Like,
not saying a pet snake. I'd rather have snakes in my yard than cats.
And I don't like dogs either. Yeah, I know I'm going to like break everybody's heart. Dogs are babies. I'm like, you got to watch them all the time.
Okay, Tracy, I get it now. You just really don't like little things
We
you got to
ain't-
take care of. I got you.
Yeah, little things to
Tracy
take
ain't
care of.
named one thing yet.
Animals, I get too attached to. I'm like, nope.
I
I
had
said
a-
snakes. I like snakes.
They have no personality, and then whatever. Okay.
I have come to the conclusion that there's absolutely, positively nothing I'm going to agree with Tracy with.
Mm-mm.
And I'm going to live with that now.
You might as well.
There is nothing. And she's the cement of this show, so I can't kick her off.
Yes, you could.
She know where you live.
Yeah, basically.
Look, the worst I can do is this. And the bad part about it is she's still talking.
You're going to get us all in trouble.
So, yeah. I don't care no more. I'm
not gonna treat animals better than I do people. I just that's not something. Nope.
You got some people that treat animals better than they treat you.
That's true, but I don't have to reciprocate it.
All right, last video. Basically, this video was for Mickey. That's the first person that popped in my head. It's a joke, and she would enjoy it.
Ivy.
Yeah?
So little Johnny's mom bought him a train set for Christmas, right?
Uh-huh.
She was so excited that she got him everything he really wanted. She's in the kitchen making breakfast. She hears him out in the living room playing. All aboard! All you fuckers aboard. If you got your luggage, throw that shit up top. If you got kids, put them in a chair. I don't fucking care. Mom comes barreling out of the room. She's like, Johnny, we don't talk that way in this house. Go to your room. You can't play with your train set for 2 hours. 2 hours later, little Johnny comes out, says, Mom, can I play with my train set? She goes, did you learn your lesson? He said, yes, ma'am. She said, okay. So he's out there, all aboard. Thank you for traveling on my train. If you have luggage, please put it on top. If you have kids, please set them in your lap. If you're complaining about the 2 hour delay, see the bitch in the kitchen.
That was a long setup for me to finally get to that.
Yeah, he could have avoided all that.
Oh my God. So even the jokes got to be short now?
Shorter than that.
Shorter than he set up the story, that went to the train, that picked up some food. Like, man,
He
get
told
to
me
it.
he told me a short story.
I know, like the whole thing, really? Come on.
What color was the train?
How many seats was in the train? Like, dude, come on.
Might as well told me if there was a dinner car.
Look, Mafia like it, so y'all can beat it. Cynical.
Y'all show wouldn't even be the same without us. Thank you.
No, the show would not be the same without y'all. Y'all still cynical as crap, though. But yeah, no.
Hey, all I said was I don't like dogs. That's all I said. Big dogs, little dogs.
Well, that's all I got. Tomorrow's show is going to be I am going to, unless these two want to come on, which they ever don't because they're too busy for me on a damn Sunday.
I came in on a Sunday.
Sometimes I do come in on Sunday. Oftentimes I'm doing something with family, or I'm busy crying uncontrollably about having to go back to work in the morning.
Yeah, just like, oh,
So
I gotta go work Monday. Oh Lord,
y'all
that
understand?
help
I
me.
really do, man. I get depressed the night
Boy,
before I
don't
have
you
to
be
go to
like,
work.
dang, I gotta go back to work.
But let me ask you this. But you do work from home.
I do.
I do, but that don't
And
make
it's
it
the
no.
longest commute, man. It is such a
It be
long
like it
commute.
take you 20 minutes just to get out of bed. Like, oh man,
Oh,
oh come on, get up,
I am the
get up.
only person in this group who actually has to get out of bed and on the road.
I still got to shower. I still got. I can't work in my pajamas, so I got to change it to something.
and I take my daughter to school every day.
Cool.
Yeah, that's our time. But yeah, it's just depressing to go to this job, man.
Oh shoot, Susan, I know I'm not funny, so that you don't have to worry about me.
No, y'all are not funny because y'all want to do not jokes, just real quick jokes.
Laffy Taffy jokes all day.
See, tomorrow's show is going to be about the anniversary of the insurrection. I am going to show the video that I showed a couple of weeks ago because I just don't want anybody to forget what the true nature of that event was.
It was a picnic.
As much as they want to water it down, I do have video tomorrow showing what really went down. I don't want any of us to forget.
I saw what really went down. I watched Fox.
Yeah, they were just tourists
trying to find the gift shop.
Also tomorrow, I'm sorry, I just caught on to the gift shop in the Capitol. That's funny as crap.
But it's real quick though. Did y'all did notice Fox had like a segment where they were upset that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, I think it was Kamala Harris, compared January 6th to like Pearl Harbor and September 11th.
That was
right?
Joe Biden. It was Biden.
All right. Well, they were real upset about that. But then they had a segment the day after their stupid tree burned down, and they compared the tree being burned down to Pearl Harbor.
We don't even have to go that far.
Gotta love them.
Ted Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
Sat here.
I just ate Marlon. Now, come on.
This actually is going to shock you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'll let you finish.
Ted Cruz on the House floor, on the Senate floor. On the Senate floor, said we're remembering the anniversary. All of this is verbatim. We're remembering the anniversary of the terrorist attack that happened right here, blah, 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 everything else. Tucker Carlson lost his shit.
But did you see Ted Cruz grovel on his show? Oh, please
And then,
forgive me. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
We understand that you use words very well. You are an attorney. You use very well. Well, I may have misspoken and everything. I may not. No. You say, dude, fuck you. It was a damn terrorist attack. But by definition, it wasn't a terrorist attack. No,
yeah, it was.
Actually, by definition, that's exactly what that was. It was a terrorist attack. Do you really want to go by definition? By definition, Webster Dictionary definition, terrorist attack.
I went on there like, I'm not apologizing for nothing. Now, what?
It was a terrorist attack. You want to sit there and try to be smart and sit there and go by definition because you think definition actually changes everything. Dude, you stupid. By definition, it actually spells out terrorist attack.
Marlon, he's not stupid. He knows who his audience is. He knows exactly who his audience is.
Yeah, we got the audience that ain't going to read the... Anyway, we're going to discuss the anniversary of January 6th, which is about as creepy as saying we're going to remember 9/11, but this is the world that we're in now. But I'm going to do a new series of videos that was just brought to my attention, and it has enough content that I can stretch it out for a extended period of time. And the series is Your Love Language. And what that is that certain people have certain, in a relationship, by the way, in a relationship, certain people have a certain way how they like to be treated. And everybody doesn't want to.
They don't send and receive love in the same way.
They don't send and receive love the same way. So they says what. I'm not going to sit there and watch Steers with his lips perked up in the damn air. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish my damn sentence and get the hell out of here.
You said that 20 minutes ago. Now, come on.
I'm not going to.
Woo! We need to be syndicated. We just need to be syndicated.
Anyway, it's how you send and receive love, and it's broken down into 5 categories. I'm going to do a series on that, and I'm going to break down all the 5 categories. And I hope it helps certain people to understand that certain things that you nope. Is that certain things that how you feel. I'm gonna break this on. I don't even care no more.
I'm like, man, he just looked at my face and shut me off.
Yeah, I don't care no more. How you can feel like that you're doing the best you can for that certain significant other, maybe hitting another trigger that's not what it is that they want, and it also is vice versa. So I'm just gonna make this perfectly clear that love language is a man/woman/ whatever it is that you want to add into it.
It's real simple, man. Look, a relationship is supposed to be about service. It's supposed to be about servicing the other person in all aspects of service. And the problem that a lot of people have is they want to actually love the way they want to love and not the way the other person needs to be loved. There we go. Relationship solved.
See, I don't know, 5 love languages.
Yeah, somebody came up with that.
Yeah, and they probably did. That doesn't mean it's not right.
No, it's not. I'm not saying, because I'm a touch person.
Yeah, and I'm like, you touch me, we gonna fight.
Touch, speak, action. I ain't even got that. Gifts.
Yeah, I'm actions. Like, you're not gonna just tell me something. You're gonna show me something.
I'm worse of. Nope, never mind.
I'm not being subversive.
I'm not going to tell you what I am yet.
You'll see his brain.
See? Well, I had to take them off. I don't have a partner. Can I talk about how I show my animals love?
I don't think Tracy wants you to talk about your cat, though.
Thank you. I really don't.
But you can talk about the furniture that's sitting beside your bed.
Oh, that one nightstand over there?
Yeah.
That's not a nightstand. That's a ledge. That's not a nightstand at all.
What just happened? What just happened? My brain just stopped. What just happened?
Nope. No, I'm not. Whoosh.
Happy Sunday.
The hell it is. I'm out of here.
Yes, you got 2 minutes till Sunday.
Oh my God.
You know, Mickey, we don't need to know everything about you. We just really don't. You know, some things you could just keep
Oh
to
my God.
yourself, and you don't have to let it out there in the universe. We don't need to know everything.
Well, the thing to remember is, depending upon the age of the vehicle, 3,000, sometimes 4,000 miles before you go get service. You'll be all right. Now, if you learn,
Oh,
Wow.
did it not
with
seem like?
with the proper lube and
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Oh, we can't today. We
This,
cannot.
dude.
Y'all
just
got
make
to.
sure you have a good drip pan.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Oh my.
I don't want to laugh because I'll start crying and I'll get ugly cry. I don't really want people to see me like that.
Oh my God.
I'm done. I'm telling y'all
Oh.
what, y'all just watch Thursdays with Tracy.
I'm
When
just
she
trying to
got
help
the
people have a pleasant service experience. That's all. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Get your mind out the gutter. Nasties.
Oh my Lord.
Oh Lord, help them.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, stop. I see this one like laughing because I'll start crying.
Blame him.
Oh boy. It's tears in my eyes.
Oh my God.
I guess I needed that laugh. Wow.
It's the end of the show, Susan.
Yeah.
It's gonna get ratchet. I'm choking.
Yeah, Mickey, so are we.
I was just trying to help.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yes, Anna, my eyes hurt. Like, wait a minute.
So either way, that is going to be the show for tomorrow. If you want to tune in, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out. If you enjoy our content, I can't see why the hell you would after that last series. But if you find in your heart to hit the subscribe button, please do not forget to hit that like button on the way out the door.
And make sure you keep your undercarriage clean so it doesn't rust up.
Oh boy. Oh.
Tracy, where can everybody find you?
Well, after I decided to come off of my self-imposed sabbatical, which I thought it was going to be February, but with as much stuff as I want to get in, I might jump back in January. I might just speed that schedule up just a tad bit, but you can find me on Tracy Media LLC, and that's TRACY Media LLC, all platforms. And be on the lookout for TracyMediaLLC.com. It's coming.
No, it's never too late to
It's
make.
not too late, Mickey.
You do proper maintenance and a couple.
No, I want to close the show.
Just mute them. Bring them back on and just mute them.
Dude, I want to go.
I ain't stopping you from going. I was trying to help.
Diaz, where can they? Which is kind of funny to say, Diaz, where can they find you? We won't see you again until April. Diaz, where can they find you?
Well, eventually. Now you can find me on Facebook.
Oh, Jesus.
See, now y'all got Mickey just going here to this car.
This is a partial rebuild. It's okay. It's good to get some good parts, some new parts, to work with the classic parts. You know, it's like a whole new ride. But Complex Mind, Simple Man on YouTube and Facebook, and complexsimpleman.com for all your other informations.
Mm-mm-mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. I would like to thank Tracy Carson, Theus Robertson, somewhat, for being on the show.
That fake innocent.
That's not cool because
Dude.
I didn't even mention that sometimes you gotta put it up on the rack so you can really get in there good.
You could just bring him back on and mute him. You do know that, right?
Y'all just don't want to take care of y'all chassis.
You know it's Sunday, and where I go to on Sundays, and they ask for prayer, boy, your name gonna be right there this time. I'll be like, yo, I got this one podcast. Woo! Child, help him today.
Oh my God.
They be like, what for? You don't want to know. Just trust me.
Oh my God.
Just make sure you wax that thing good though. Good spit shine. Oh, it's complexsimpleman.com. Should come up.
Is it a hyphen?
No hyphens, no special
Okay.
characters. Just complexsimpleman.com.
Yeah,
You
got
did
Marlon over
the
here.
mind part.
He can't even keep a straight face.
You did register it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now Mickey done started this one.
That's
No,
what it
Mick.
looks right there.
No, you haven't read Mickey's comment. You obviously haven't read Mickey's comment. I can't with y'all today. And I literally mean today.
Well, and the great thing about it is, you can always hire a professional.
Oh my God. Oh.
No, that's why you hire a professional. They actually can, come
Oh
over
my God.
and give it a good, deep workout just to make sure everything's operating at peak performance. So.
Oh, boy, see. This will not happen on Thursdays with Tracy. I'm telling you that right now. No.
Only on Sundays with Marlon.
Or Saturdays.
No, Saturdays y'all can do this. Sundays, we're not going to do that. That is my new show. We're not news.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you want to help people understand their love languages, but you don't want to help them make sure they're doing proper maintenance and care of their vehicles. That's what we're talking about, right? Talking about vehicles.
Damn it, that's a good point. Damn.
I'm not with you thieves today. No, I'm not.
Oh, God, oh, body.
And y'all stop encouraging. I'm sitting here trying
Really?
not to
Stop
laugh.
encouraging.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
y'all in the
that's the only
comments,
reason why
stop
you
that.
doing it.
That's gonna keep him going. Stop it.
Follow your advice. It'll definitely keep you going.
Why am I walking to that? Why?
Anyway.
Make sure you have the right belts and hoses.
Come on, man.
Stop it. You stop.
Oh, no. What?
And this is Marlon's show, so he should be telling you to stop.
I got to see what Mickey just said.
We need to be syndicated. This can't be contained here. Oh, wow. I can't with y'all today.
Hey, nothing wrong with having a good thumper. Just saying.
Jesus. Oh my God, really?
You know what?
My mafia is a bunch of freaks.
They sure are.
My mafia is a bunch of freaks. I'm out of here.
Hey, but just be careful what you put in your trunk. Just looking out for everybody. Make sure.
That is our show for tonight. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Please do not forget to hit that notification bell. Why the hell you would after this show? I have no idea.
You have no reason not to. We had a lot of fun at the end. A whole lot of fun.
And have a good Jack and a spare.
Thank you and good night. Bye, everybody.